constant, or is it an activation? Does she say?
Well, it depends on how we want to do it.
Yeah. Well, she's a cost of 12 hero. She's a big expensive hero, so I'm quite okay with doing something, making her. Maybe because I just woke up. That's why my brain hasn't fully kicked in.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
it'll all get done eventually. It's just a matter of time.
Until the end of the round.
Mm-hmm.
Thing
is it like an ability that goes off and gives a benefit to everyone around her, and then they keep it till the end of the round, or is it a while within a certain distance of her they get the benefit? In which case, might as well be a constant, because it's just an activated constant that disappears at the end of a round.
Well, yeah, that's the question. Is as a constant. I mean, if with a range 3 constant, my calculator is giving a increase of shards of 2, so that bumps her up to a 13. And we haven't even done the other one yet.
If it's if it is like a stand firm, hold your ground kind of ability, it could be they can't shift either. Under their own control, they can't shift.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of roots them in place. It's not just can't be moved by enemies. It's no, can't be moved at all, mate. You're here now. You're in formation. Hunker down behind that scenery.
Okay, yeah, good point. Okay.
Is it her abilities making her that expensive? Because they don't look that high.
Yeah, it's the abilities that we've got.
No, I meant her stats.
Wound and days, battle cry, top of.
Oh, she's got battle cry, right? Okay, yeah.
Got battle cry there for. She's got 4.
Why does she have days?
Battle cry becomes when she hits with that halberd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon if someone got hit with that halberd, that'd be.
Okay, we could take days out if we were wanting to save a point or two or something, maybe. But I was like, is she supposed to be slamming them with the shield or what?
4 attack.
Gather to me already. It gives guard tokens, but I was thinking having the other one give. Oh, but if Gather to me would combine with a constant aura, that could get very potent indeed.
Yeah, that's probably part of the cost in there as well. So if she does Gather to me and a bunch of people may move 1, then that more likely triggers this new skill that we're going to give. That they're all going to give.
Well, they're going to, because if they're within 3 and move 1 towards her, they'll be within 2.
Yeah, that's right.
I was also thinking the armor boost one, they might have to be in base contact with an ally, not necessarily her, and near her. So that would be like a restriction. They'd really be ranking up a lot. Yeah, that would be creating a very much all your eggs in one basket kind of situation, though. It should be a very localized powerhouse.
Yeah, that's right. So, what do we want to call this one?
What's your wording
for people
it?
For people in the chat, I'm quite willing to, and that's the whole point of this, is if you open up your little chat window inside this, the rules discussion chat, and throw in questions, we will answer them. And there's one there already.
So as Matic has asked, are there any other characters with defensive traits like Chrysler we could look at?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So what can we compare her to?
Yeah, that's a question.
We're not Larian. We do have defensive traits in our games. Just well, not Nettie, obviously.
No,
he's a very much attacking kind of character.
Marietta's a demon slayer. Alicia's
let's see.
Aphrodite's we need to name
needed, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, even look at Barristan. He might have something.
I mean, Barristan's a big defense guy, but I'm just.
I mean, he might not.
Assaults, parries.
What's Valiant for Octavia again?
Octavia Valiant.
On the back. Oh, it's down from impervious. Got it. It's a.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the ability to heal up to the healthy side. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
The only card that can do that.
Barristan's got not on my watch. Yeah.
Yeah. An undeniable authority, so that's possibly okay. So, range and line of sight will remove all breaks from one unit or one break from all friendly. And then
one break from range is what, 4?
Range
for default, or
no? The default range is always whatever the person's speed is.
Oh, that's really bad. If that's just range 2 and cost 2, that is. I thought it might be about 4 or 3 or 4, but okay.
Removes all breaks.
Yeah, no, I get that. Is it different on the front or the same?
Oh, sorry, yeah, good point.
Yeah, it's the same. Okay, it just costs less on the front. Got it. Okay. And undeniable authority. Choose any number of damaged characters of equal or lower rank within range and sight. Boost any and recover 1 to each. Cost X increases by 1 for each target. So you literally pay for everyone you want to include in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of sort of defensive abilities. I mean, not on my watch is a very good defensive ability. Oh, we got the altar, maybe. Best defense is an offensive ability.
Just going up.
Osselite Guards, they have a very defensive ability.
Well, yeah, but how's that going to help Chrysler?
It's not, but it's a defense. They just get a shield token or guard token at the end of their activation. They just walk up and go bonk. You know. Protect the King is a good one from Shield Guard.
Yeah, moving the shield tokens to yourself.
Yeah, just
from yourself to.
Yeah, just shield adjacent people. I was considering giving that to Chrysler, just unmodified.
Yeah.
But didn't suggest it.
Healing. Yeah, attacking skill. Relentless is just adding the keywords. So I guess we're considering something like Relentless.
Oh, I mean, if she did give surrounding Rose units immune as well as Defiant, that would be just really impressive without an armor boost. That's a bigger command ability, a bit like Godfrey's.
Yep.
So we don't have a lot of very good defensive abilities in Aslan. We just have good defensive stats.
Yeah. Go back to Chrysler. Refresh it. Alright, so for everyone in the chat, the kind of the point for today is also that the names of some of these guys are pretty terrible. So I had some names, I've deleted some names, or I've left the worst names.
It's going to be like a good name, fend them off, stand firm, block.
Yeah. So all units with
parry and deflect.
Armor score to match
example.
their defense score. Is that word okay? All units within 3 increase the armor score to match their defense score.
Armor
now,
up.
how is that? Armor
defend
up?
Yourselves. I like parry and deflect still, but
you like making skill names which are just people yelling and stuff. Quotes.
Not always.
Not always, no, but I mean, in certain instances, they do make sense. Like having one of them, like gather to me. Okay, everybody gather to me. Okay, cool, no problem. I'm adverse to doing it for all
Well,
three skills.
Could be go to ground. They could get armor equal to their defense and not block line of sight, or something. You know, like because they're hunkering down.
Yeah. Yep.
Or they could, instead of having their armor go up to match their defense, they could swap their armor and defense.
Yep.
Which that won't make a major difference for most of them, though. Nah,
I'm a fan of alliteration. So if you do some, like John said, fortify. I'm like, yeah, cool, fortify. But fortify the forces, or like that double F thing, or that kind of. That's me. That's my style of stuff. So.
One moment. I'm kind of getting fortify friendship, and that doesn't quite work. So friendly fortification.
Friendly fortification.
Furious fortification.
Pillow fort.
Just because they've got big pillows.
Score to match the defense score, and to pay the costs of this use. Then speed.
Frenetic
1.
Fortification. Maybe not unifying defense, but unified defense. We've had a unifying defense suggestion. I thought maybe unified defense might work instead. Actually, that's technically alliteration. Original Anglo-Saxon alliteration isn't about the first letter of the word. It's about the main emphasis letter of the word. So you get unifying defense. And it's about like speaking it in a way that emphasizes the sounds repeatedly throughout a sentence, instead of just going, everything starts with the same letter. Fortified defense. Ugh. I mean, we kind of like unified defense, but...
I just wrote it in there to see what it would look like.
Fortified... You got a word ending with a D, then another word starting with a D. It gets a bit glottal. Yeah, in a kind of fortified defense. It can run together, or you get this awkward glottal stop between them. Where fortified defense.
That's the British thing. It's a bit weird. It loads that weird font while loading and then flips over afterwards.
Okay.
I wanted to slam her. I want her to slam her
how about
halberd into the ground and cause a shockwave.
Completely. How about Together We Stand? You got Gather to Me and Together We Stand as two separate ability names.
I thought you wanted the thing to match in with or are you just talking about naming it?
I was talking about a potential name for the same, a potential different name for the same ability.
All right. Well, while we stew over that one, how about finish up the other skill?
Yeah, we've got another one to fill in. So you're liking it. Could it be like a shockwave? Like she slams her halberd down into the ground, and enemies in a 4-square straight line in a direction of her choosing can get knocked over. Sort of like, like a low damage days or something,
Yeah.
Rather than just hitting one target, maybe.
Yep.
Or she could have an ability where she would temporarily gain reach. Like she doesn't, her halberd doesn't normally have reach, but she can use it in such a way that it can reach further, like a reach attack.
I mean,
I'm liking the slam the ground attack idea more, but
Yeah, because she's not, her ability sets are not about combat and attacking. Her abilities are all about defensing and causing a area.
I mean, instead of like shaking him up a bit, it could even be a knockback attack.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not a base to base knockback attack, but like a, you know, all enemies in this 3 or 4 square line get knocked back 1 square. Or they can choose to be knocked back or take a break defense.
Oh yeah, that would lessen the cost.
Because that puts the decision on the opponent of what they'd rather suffer, and they'd probably go knockback, break. You know, break defense on the ones they really want to keep there, knockback on the ones they want to keep alive.
We don't have a knockback keyword for.
No, it would be shift 1 square away from Chrysler or take a break defense. Maybe shift 2 away from her. I don't know.
Do you think shift is a good idea? I mean,
well,
push is usually
if it's shift directly away, then they can't sort of go at weird angles to be equidistant or something, you know.
I'm just curious why you think shift instead of push.
Do we have a push?
Yeah, push is the standard.
Oh, push.
Shift is usually for a player to
yeah
maneuvers.
So that they can choose to be pushed away or take a debuff. Oh, we have fortified stand. How about fortified stance?
So you reckon break defense is not worth push of equal value. So I reckon break all.
Break all or push? Oh god, they're going to take push almost every time in that case.
Well, yeah, that's
it's
the point.
Kind of the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We want them to be pushed, but if they absolutely want to hold their ground, you can do so. But you've got to hunker down, put your feet into the ground, and resist the whatever it is.
I was trying to think if there are any characters who are immune to being pushed.
1 or 2.
So would they just choose the push and suffer nothing, or would they? I was thinking maybe this shouldn't affect defiant characters or imposing characters. With all within 3, in all directions.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking making it like a directional cone or straight ahead in a narrow line, but sure.
No, or just a big. All of our other skills are like all units within line of sight and range. All units within 3. That's Chrysler's thing.
I mean, is she really exploding?
Is she exploding?
I mean, it's too tacky to call it something like ground pound, but.
Yes, that's too tacky.
Oh, massive stomp.
Oh dear.
Fend away foes. Man, I like fortifying stance or fortified stance for unifying defense.
Yeah, I like fortified stance because it suggests that it's triggered by the speed stop.
Man, does that affect her as well or not? Because her speed's already right down at a 3.
Right down at a 3.
Battle boom. Ooh.
Battle boom.
Instead of kaboom.
The teeth smile. Not...
Teeth. You know when you've been battle boomed.
I'll use my broadsword. Fire of wrath.
What's that from?
The Hero Quest advert from the 1980s.
Yeah, that's before I had a telly. I remember HeroQuest. It was great. Still is in many ways. Actually, you know what was bad about HeroQuest when it came out?
Yeah, you're getting distracted.
Slightly, but so Games Workshop were selling HeroQuest for £20 because they had to, because it was company policy.
Yep.
Whereas the shop round the corner was selling it for £10, and the kids were going to the shop round the corner, buying it, going into Games Workshop and demanding a refund. And because of company policy, they had to honour the refund.
Yep. Did they figure it out ever? Okay. John, it's a lovely idea, Battle Boom, but it's not quite in the theme of the game.
I mean,
do you want
battle barge kind of works, but it's not a boat.
So
call it the argy bargy.
For, what's the another word for what do you call it?
Blast, impact, forceful rebuke.
Forceful rebuke.
Yeah, I just made that up. It sounded like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
If any of the rest of you want to chip in with suggestions, go for it. We've got a number of characters who need abilities naming.
I'm going to do some thesaurus searching.
Oh, Vicious Slam, that works, yeah. Still can't get rid of this annoying notification.
What,
probably have to go to another channel to do something.
Maybe. Oh. You can go to other channels and do stuff.
Yeah, I know, it's just annoying. Right, one moment. Dear notification, go away. I've blatantly seen it. There we go. No, it's still there. That's not going to do it. Okay. Tectonic smack. Possibly tectonic slam. Oh dear. Tectonic crash, tectonic collision.
Okay, so thesaurus. Thunderous, forceful, shockwave, concussive, disruptive, impelling, repelling.
We got thunderous discharge.
Resonant
as a suggestion.
It
sounds like a really bad
ideas
fart.
in my head. Oh dear. How about resonant blast?
Yeah.
That sounds like that. Yeah, because we just discharge made us think of farts. Now blast makes me think of farts as well. Great. Well, that's not what we're meant to do. Tectonic smackers are cool, and vicious slam. Vicious slam though sounds like we're grabbing hold of a person and throwing them into the ground.
Vicious slam sounds like something Gouge should do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Tectonic smack suggests it's somehow
or possibly like brawl
much bigger. And smack is also a disrupting wave. Yeah, disruptive wave. Yep. So let's think about how it's happened. How it's pushing them back, or they're taking a physical effect. So that's definitely disrupting them.
So yeah, some kind of big impact on the ground.
Now, let's think about how she's actually doing it, though. Is it she's doing it through some sort of magical effect, which is causing like a physical pushback of air, or is she just by slamming the thing into the ground creating a noise which everybody are just, they can't be near it, so they step back?
Oh. Discordant disruption. There's your alliteration right there.
Discordant disruption.
Thought of it right on Discord as well. That's so bad. So I'm thinking she like slams her halberd down repeatedly on the floor around her in all directions, sort of like not threatening any one particular person, but kind of like beating them all back. And they can't tell if they're being attacked or not, so they're all kind of like defending, like, whoa, what's going on? You know, some of them will back out, some of them will get kind of a bit off balance and stuff.
Or she maybe also possibly using the halberd in a spinning, attacking like look.
Yeah, I didn't like that because it's a bit too spin to win cheese bollocks, and we don't like that because it's silly.
No, I like in like the barbarians in Diablo, where they spin themselves in a way which creates like a whirlwind.
That's what I just said.
Oh, you don't like it? Okay.
Well, with a shield that size and a weapon that long, it feels a bit wrong to be spinning that sort of weapon.
No, I just mean in the sense of, instead of thinking of it as a singular strike, which
no, I'm not. I'm
thinking
of different ways.
The idea of, you know how someone's really impressive in combat, and you just go, oh crap, and you stand back a bit. And so she just starts pulling off combat maneuvers, and everyone within that range of 3.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not thinking like spinning around on the spot. I was thinking like a number of complicated polearm maneuvers in different directions that threaten, like a sort of martial arts kata.
Yeah,
actually,
like
if we call it a kata, that would be interesting because she's not from you. So it would add more cultural depth and interest.
I like Shark's gone disruptive maneuvers.
Yeah. At arm's length.
Yeah, at arm's length is kind of the direction I was thinking, like making them think, oh crap, we better stand back. We don't want to cop it.
At some point, I'd like to have maybe an ability name referring to getting the measure of your opponent, which is, of course, working out, the perfect distance for them to be hitting you, the perfect distance for you to be hitting them, working out where you need to be in the fight. Doesn't take long, but it's something experienced warriors would refer to in the past. Like, okay, I've got the measure of him now, going in for another round or whatever, Yeah, I'm not sure this is the ability for it, though.
Yeah, okay. I think the idea John's got of saying stay back or stand back or back off does give the impression to the player that she's doing something which causes people to stand back, rather than the initial idea of slamming the ground and having some magical effect push them back. And I like the idea that she's not a magic user. So she's a guardian, she's a knight, she's a rose knight, so it should be about her combative abilities. Psychokinetic ward.
Masterful rebuke. Or a rebuttal.
Going off the deep end.
Uh-huh.
Just typing into thesaurus to see what else we can get.
See, I was thinking along with the idea of it possibly having a slight Eastern flair. It would be like the rebuke of 1,000 threats or something, I had a better idea, but I've forgotten it since.
I'm trying to look at that disruptive maneuver. If we can get inside the quote, the part about backing off,
Step away if you value your life.
Strategic maneuvers, impactful maneuvers, forceful maneuvers. What's taking a break? So it should say break
okay,
all
so
token.
break all, that's -1 to all of your stats. Well, no, it's not all, it's attack,
Break
defense,
is a token.
and movement speed for the rest of the round.
And range attack. So it's a token you place on a unit. It's either a +1 token or a -1 token, and it's usually to a specific
break is -1.
stat.
A boost is +1. Yeah.
Radial presence. Oh, that's nice.
Main. Might and main.
My glasses.
It's not spelt the way you'd think. It's like MIEN or something. You'd have to look it up.
So when I read radial, I was thinking like because she's got this range around her.
Whereas it
Radiant
made me think of the Neverwinter Tonight's radial menus. That were also used in the Temple of Elemental Evil computer game. Right, hang on.
It wasn't a bad interface. I did like it.
It's like I think that's how you spell main, but we'd have to check the spelling.
Yeah, I think most people aren't going to get that.
Because might is physical might and power. Main is the demeanor, of power, like the attitude, the aspect, the way you look powerful and radiate it.
Just imagine someone in the middle of a board game stopping and getting a thesaurus out to look up main. They can't find the word, so they go, screw this game, pick it up. If the word presence could be more emphatic, like not just being present, but being
commanding presence, emphatic presence, battlefield presence.
Time on this one. Do we want to leave some notes and then move on?
Yeah, we can come back to it, but it's going to need to be done very quickly. Possibly even today.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave in the FF so that we know to come. Right. Find the next
Kaboom
force.
FF is definitely unless she's like throwing a load of grenades or something.
That's right.
Knockback grenades, you know.
Okay,
hang on. Visage. How about like stunning visage? Anyway.
No.
Nettie, we just need a name for his third ability.
Yep. So if target is not in sight, shift 3, attack -1 and deadly. So the idea is he's around a building. You're using the building as defense. Someone comes up close.
Or a large monster.
Yeah, or a large monster. And just goes.
He's just like, I know you're there.
Yeah.
Like just
takes 3.
Yep.
Takes 3 steps, makes an attack.
That can include diagonals, so he can go around larger things as well. Like one diagonal past a corner, one along its length, and one diagonal the other way. You know. So.
Yep. So we need some sort of a.
Oh God.
Some sort of cool name.
We must not give in to pantomime and call it "He's behind you." Although behind you might be a good.
Just gave in to the hard gotcha is the whole point of saying Phantom Strike. That's 1,000 times better than what I've got so far.
Sounds good so far. And that's not necessarily implying that it's ghostly, but it's just like he moves like a ghost. He's just like for those of you not familiar with our previous discussions on Nettie, his abilities, the operative and the good death, are blatantly based on the operative from Firefly and from Serenity. The operative wasn't in Firefly, of course. He was only in the film.
So
Yeah, Phantom
swift,
Strike is
stealthy, fleeting, blinding, guerrilla, silent, shadow.
Phantom Gorilla Strike.
Yeah. And then strikes like ambush, step strike, assault, feint.
Oh!
Infiltration.
We could almost call it something like Fog of War. Like,
Eh.
in the haze of battle, you don't quite notice what he's doing until he's done it already. Haze of Battle's actually quite a good one as well, isn't it? But you'd expect both of those to be something that would affect other people. Okay. I talked myself out of it. Shadow Prowler. Okay. Because prowling also implies hunting and maliciousness as well, so yeah. It's also kind of slow and sidling and graceful in a way, so yeah.
Yeah. And with accuracy 3 and evasive 1, I do like the idea of a prowler rather than the strike part of things, more of a careful, considered maneuver.
We could just call it prowl, but that wouldn't imply the attack as well, so
No. Oh yeah, that's a good point. It's not a constant, it's an attack. So it is supposed to be an attacking word.
I've got a question, right?
Yeah.
Can we imagine a situation where it's advantageous for him to move, to have a target in line of sight, move so they are not in line of sight, but within range of visibility, then use visibility? It'd be for the deadly, right? That would be the reason you'd do it.
So that you can gain deadly.
Yeah. Now you'd be better off just using the operative than a good def to follow up. Okay. So it is more of an edge case semi-emergency ability. The Stalker. Yeah, that kind of works as well. I mean, it has a rather different connotation to it. Okay. Shadow Stalker. Does Nettie have a crush? Not exactly. He's about honor and making a better world by dishonorable means, even if there'll be no place for him left in it when it's ready. He always wanted to be a soldier when his father told him stories about being a soldier when he was younger. And he waited for his father, who was dying of a nasty disease in his old age, and looked after him. When the army recruiters came into town, he stayed behind. Even though everyone knew he wanted to join the army, he stayed behind to look after his old father. And then, when his father died, he went and signed up and joined the army. So he's a sort of honourable assassin.
So, as I adjust this, I noticed the wording of the other ones is not quite correct. So a good death was listed as a reaction, but it's an attack. So it's
yes, it's an attack, not a reaction.
Yeah, with deadly 2. So that means you can't use Good Death and Phantom Strike at the same time.
Yeah, but wasn't the idea the operative is an attack? That's why Good Death was a reaction to, because he attacks with the operative, which is make an attack where 4s and 5s are removed, and cause daze instead of adding to the attack roll. And then as a reaction to the operative, he then has the opportunity to go for a good death.
So the operative is also mildly confusing. Make an attack suggests that it is an attack where 4s and 5s are days.
Instead of, yes.
And the wording is bad as well, because it really should just be days on 4s and 5s. instead of just 5s.
But the idea was that he has a 1/2 attack, and the good death is the follow up after he's dazed and stunned him. Well, not fully stunned.
Well, yeah, but then you can't do deadly 2 because deadly 2 applies to the attack. And so if the attack is the operative, then you can't put good death onto the attack.
So hang on then.
Get what I'm saying?
So the idea was the operative is the first one that dazes him, the good death is the one that follows up that kills him if he dazes him with the first one, or seriously messes him up.
So if we increase the cost of the operative to say
it's 2
attack
already.
with deadly 2, I know, but if you're going to add deadly 2 into it, it's going to massively increase the cost.
Why would you add that in?
So one of them's got to be the attack, and the other one has to be the reaction to the attack.
Yeah, the good death is the second one, so it's for reaction.
But then you can't apply deadly to a reaction to the...
Why?
So, okay, so the first one, you're making the attack, you're dazing them.
No, I get this. Why can't you apply deadly to reaction?
Because deadly applies to an attack, not to a reaction.
It is. But we were talking about him being the character who would be allowed to make 2 attacks in a turn and break the usual 1 attack per activation limit when we designed these abilities originally.
Yeah, but I thought it was a good death of Phantom Strike. But okay, it's just the mechanic of deadly 2 applies to an attack. It doesn't. You can't apply it afterwards.
No, it's a separate attack.
It's a separate attack.
So he makes the first attack with the operative and hopefully dazes the target, and if he does, he then triggers a reaction which allows him to make an attack on the same target, which would break the 1 attack per activation limit, and that second attack would have deadly.
Right, so then the wording on... Well, then the cost is not even close.
Yeah, the cost is not even close. We'll have to adjust costs and stuff. Yeah. One of the chaps has to go off and cook dinner, so hope it's a nice meal. And maybe we'll see him again afterwards.
Yep, awesome. You'll never see me coming. Well, we never saw him go. Alright, oh, since I gotta fix it. So should the operative is just essentially applying a modifier to an attack?
It's an attack with daze, with critical daze that crits on 4s, and it's not allowed to explode. Unless we change that, Worst part, of course, is if he gets multiple dazes, it progresses up to a stun, and then he really goes in with a good death.
Yeah.
We could stop it being an attack, right?
It needs to become a reaction, and the reaction is to making a successful attack.
So you want the operative to be a reaction to making a normal attack?
Yeah, to apply... Well, I mean, it either has to be the attack, or it applies to a successful attack.
Right. So if it's a reaction to making an attack, how would that work?
When you make a successful attack, 4s and 5s cause daze.
So that
daze on 4 and 5.
That could almost be a constant ability.
No, because you got to pay for it.
Yeah, no, wait. It could be a constant ability that he, crits on 4s and daze on 4s. But all his crits cause daze instead of critical. No, because you want to be able to critical on a good death afterwards. But the intent was that both attacks occur in the same activation, which is unusual.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the break defense self in there.
Adding in a crit bonus and adding in daze bonus, so that makes this. This is how it would work for the reaction.
I'm aware it's expensive. It's fiddly. Right. So then why don't we just give him critical days, and the operative would just be he criticals on 4s. That way he doesn't need to. That way it's not a reaction. It's just.
You want to make it that he always dazes. That's going to increase his shard cost of his card.
No. So
rather than.
Okay, so you're paying for the days and the crits on 4s.
Yeah.
Are you adding the limitation that these dice can't explode? So you're only really paying for the days. You're not getting a damage
the rules
increase.
Of days normally. That's the rule of days. Oh, you're going to make it forced. You don't get to choose.
Yeah, but you don't get to choose. As in, it is days. It's not extra damage because you get a good death coming in immediately. A good death would be a reaction. When you daze a character, attack again with Deadly 2, then break self and break defense self. Attack. When you daze a character, attack the same target with Deadly 2, then break attack self and break defense self.
Yeah. That's how I wrote it. So, interesting. It shows the same words. When you daze a character, so that becomes the reaction.
Because you'd written it when you attack a dazed character. I was like, no, when you daze a character, it's attack that dazed character. Yeah, so that turns it into a reaction because it's when you daze a character, you attack them. And that's a 3-point combo. That's pretty expensive. But it's not an attack because it's a reaction. So that's 2 reactions and the 1 Phantom Strike as an attack ability, right? Interesting.
So the operative, the problem is the
operative needs to be not a reaction but to be an attack, I think.
No, so that's supposed to be your standard attack. The reaction allowing to trigger another attack on a good death. When you daze a character...
Yeah, I'm saying the operative probably shouldn't be a reaction because it feels more like the operative shouldn't be a when you make a successful attack. It should be just a make an attack that must daze on 4s and 5s.
Sorry, say again. I had a small interruption.
So a good death should be a reaction because it's a reaction. It's either a reaction to the operative. Oh, because when you attack a dazed character, it was other people could do the dazing. Yeah. Okay. No, but this is his combos, so...
You want to restrict it to his combo. He can't do it on dazed when someone else...
Yeah. No, that's fine. But you've already done that. I'm wondering if we should make it one ability. Combine it. Like, make a successful attack if you 4s and 5s dazed. No. Keep it separate. So I think the operative has to become an attack and a good death has to become a reaction. Which means rewording the operative slightly.
Okay, yeah. So if you're forcing it that it can't apply to someone else dazing the character.
Yeah. Well, you've already done that by changing it to when you daze a character.
Yeah, okay. But this is a choice at the moment rather than
Yeah. I mean, God, we could change it to reacting to any character being dazed within his reach, and he could just opportunistically spend a point to finish them off,
It kind of feels thematic to say, okay, this guy's walking along the battlefield and he sees someone dazed.
When
he goes,
a character,
why don't you finish him off?
When an adjacent character is dazed, attack
that. Means you have to be standing next to them when they get dazed.
Yes, as I said, when an adjacent character is dazed, like adjacent to him.
Yeah, that's problematic. You'd have to move up to them, have someone else daze them, and then you could kill them off.
Or he could just do it himself.
Yeah, doing himself is the top.
Is the main thing. Okay, so what's the nature of the problem currently?
So the nature of the problem is, if the guy is making a standard attack, and
a
we go
finisher.
if the guy making a standard attack, or actually technically even if you Phantom Strike, right? If you Phantom Strike or standard attack, and you roll and it's a successful attack, then you are forced to do days on 4s and 5s. And now here's part of the problem as well is there's a greater chance of getting multiple 4s and 5s here.
Yes.
Right. And so I'd like to also tie in the number of days tokens into a good death in some way. But
with deadly equal to the number of days tokens on the target.
Oh, that would be interesting because then
that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Tokens.
So you'd have to get multiple. Oh, but days progress at 2 days turns into a stun.
No, days turns into a stun. That's right.
So yeah. Otherwise, it'd be a nice idea.
Yeah. We could swap it out. Days.
Okay, how about this?
Wound.
Hang on. How about this? Make the operative into an action, not an attack, right? You make an attack roll targeting the enemy that deals no damage, but will daze on 4s and 5s. And because it's not technically a damaging attack, you then set them up for a good death, which is a reaction to it.
Okay. So the operative is knocking them unconscious.
Yeah, it's stunning them, knocking them off balance.
Stun attack.
Yeah.
Knock them unconscious, knock them off balance, whatever
and
that
then
result
just
is.
Let them slide onto the blade or something, casually.
All right, so action. Make an attack roll, which does no damage.
Yeah,
but
either an attack that does no damage, or end it with this attack. If there was no damage dealt by this attack, or this attack deals no damage. Yeah, but 4s and 5s will daze the target.
It daze on 4s and 5s. Okay, and a good death.
When you daze a cat. So that would then become a reaction.
No, if it's got the keyword attack in it, it has to be an attack. For the rules of people doing attacks.
Yeah, but it's when you daze a character, attack that dazed character. It's a reaction to dazing characters. Dear viewers, these are the kind of iterations that many of these abilities go through before reaching their final form. Many have been the discussions that have led to the final versions of some of these abilities. Yeah. It's a lot of work.
If you daze a character, attack that dazed character with Deadly 2, and then feel bad about it.
So the other way then is to change the operative to not be an attack, but to just roll a select amount of dice and try and get 4s and 5s.
Yeah, true.
It could even be like roll 1 die. If you get a 4 or a 5, daze the target. You know.
Yeah, but the point here is we allow someone to create some sort of ability that gives an attack bonus to Nettie, so Nettie can now daze on more dice by using the keyword attack roll.
Or just a attack boost.
Do we use... No, we don't, so don't worry. Okay, so if you daze a character, attack that character. If you turn it into a reaction attack...
Yes, this is what that's fine. You know, just when you daze a character... That's why I said it's a reaction ability. Just make it a reaction. If you have to write the words reaction attack instead of attack, that's fine. So when you daze a character, make a reaction attack against that character with Deadly 2, and it has a cost of 1, so it's not an automatic reaction, it's one you choose to do. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So when turned into a reaction attack, it reduces the cost. Oh, but it increases the shards slightly. That's fine.
Given how valuable his abilities are, reducing the cost is probably a slightly good idea.
Where is he? Where is he? Oh, that's interesting. It increased the shard cost, but didn't cross the threshold into an 8.
Ah, okay, that works.
It's still within the 7. It's like, okay.
Because turning it from an attack into a reaction attack might have cheapened it.
Yeah, possibly.
If
I do this...
You know what else that means, don't you?
Are you able to see the stats at the moment?
Yeah. Turning it into a reaction attack uses up his reaction attack token, so if he's already used it against someone moving, he can't do it, and he also can't do it again.
Right.
So
so see, 7.37. So it didn't quite cross his threshold. So that's cool.
Not even up to a 7.5. Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
Yeah, awesome. Okay.
Is Phantom Strike okay as a name?
I like Phantom Strike. Yeah, I think we.
I was about to foolishly recommend naming it the Phantom Menace and decided that would be a really bad idea.
Yes, that's a bad idea.
Okay, I think he may be done.
All right, next one.
Excellent. Next Fs. Okay, we know that one. Okay, Sephiria. What's wrong with her? Oh, I think it's just the wording of something ever so slightly.
Blessed by the heavens, when Sephiria is attacked, the attacking character cannot use keywords during his attack. Yep. Makes perfect sense. Costs 1 to trigger it.
Oh!
Divine Decree.
That should have a cost, surely.
What? Divine Decree?
Yeah. Command an angel or holy character regardless of rank. Oh, you may spend 2 to assign that character a shield token if you got it. Okay, yes, so there is a cost.
Yeah. The command is built into her shard cost.
What I'm saying is a certain future campaign would make that ability much more powerful because of regardless of rank. Okay, and Radiant Strike. Oh, that could be a failed attack as well. Does that not have a cost?
No, because it's built into the cost of the
shard. She just goes around dazing and stunning everyone. So what? Is it the backside of the card where something...
Maybe that's what the FF is, to say, look, why is that not just daze? Oh, no, because it dazes regardless of the successful or not.
Yes.
And this
it's not a critical daze, it's just... So what's on the back of her card that might be...
Are
they just exactly the same? They are exactly the same. Okay.
Blessed by the heavens, divine decree, and strike.
Go back up to the top side. Go back down to the bottom side. I have identified the problem.
You need to see more.
The fist and cloak defense numbers are the changed number, not the unchanged number, but they're the same on the front of the card.
Yeah, fist I haven't fixed for some reason.
Yeah, so it's a display issue. It's just the fist and the cloak are showing as changed when they're actually exactly the same. Oh, that's a relief.
No, cloak is changed.
4 from 4. Okay, yeah, so it's for fist.
The fist is
accuracy, evasive, flight, immune. What's accuracy 2, evasive? I'm checking if the keywords have changed on the back. I don't think they have. Okay, so yeah, I think it's a display issue there. So I think it's just the fists on the back.
Yeah, I'm just going to change Zephyrai's FF. Next one.
Esther needed something? No? Okay.
No.
Yasa? Yeah, that's ability names, isn't it?
Yep. So you can ignore that one.
And also possibly checking she might not have 2 minutes. Okay, Shael. Yes, there is. I know what the issue is here.
Mm-hmm.
Shael casts heal on 1 unit. And doesn't say heal how much or anything. It's a.
You're confusing recover.
No, I'm
heal
not.
Gets rid of wound tokens.
No, I get that.
There's no X or anything.
Because there's recover, there's the other one. There's recover, restore. And I think restore is the one where you don't roll dice.
No, heal, you don't roll dice either.
What?
Heal doesn't roll dice.
I know.
Recover doesn't roll dice. Sorry, restore doesn't roll dice.
It's heal
recover
how many?
Is the only one. How many what?
Heal how much damage. How much damage you're removing with heal.
No, that's recover. Recover takes away damage.
Yeah.
Heal takes away wound tokens.
Oh, so it's not actual healing. It's condition removal.
No. Yeah, it's condition removal.
Have we got that clarified in the rulebook anywhere that heal removes wound tokens?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that in the rulebook, so we can look that up later. It's just a check that it needs to be done. So I think that's the issue. The ability description of Rose's Bloom. I was like, how much is being healed? Because at one point there was an impression that it was going to heal the first person, do something else, then heal a second person. You like bounce. Health side, health value, heal. Unlike recover, heal.
To remove wound tokens.
Yep.
Equal to the value.
Is she the only instance of heal in the game currently? She might be. Don't go looking for it now. So, I think it was the Rose's Bloom description that was confusing. Oh, shows damage attack next one.
Yeah, she's the only one who has heal.
Right, Rose's
Fawns.
There
is the fate cards for it that do heal, but she's the only one who has heal.
Rose's Fawns. Should there be a range limit on that, like adjacent attacker, or is it really like anywhere on the board? She'll just like make brambles come up and get you.
If Shah's damaged, the attacker takes 1 direct damage.
Well,
since 90% of attackers are going to be within a few squares.
And Fate of the Fallen is fine as well. So I think it was a confusion over the word heal in Rose's Bloom that was the reason why she may not be working, may not be finished.
Yeah, maybe.
Rose's... Oh, and range on Rose's Bloom. Because it affects 3 people. The second one's her. How close do the other 2 need to be?
Shah casts heal on 1 unit, recover 1 on self, and recover 2 on a second unit.
Should we set a range on that?
Yeah, definitely.
That could be what wasn't fixed.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going range 4 as a gut feeling, but I'm not sure.
Well, her movement is 3. So normally we would say like whatever her movement range is. The idea being that she could, in theory, walk up to them and touch them, and then get back to where she's standing. Because it's not a combat move; it's more of a quick jump, run up and touch.
Gotcha. It may be worth writing it as Shael casts heal on 1 unit within 3, recover 1 on self, and recover 2 on a second unit within 3. I mean, we've got space on the card to do it, so it's just a matter of...
I was just going to say within range.
Okay, so that works as well. And then recover 2 on a second unit within range as well.
Yeah. Within range, yeah. If Shael is damaged, attacker takes direct damage. Do you want me to add range to that? Do you think that's going to be important?
The attacker within range... No, because it could be like if you shoot with an arrow, the plants grab you and rip you apart where you are, because nature's vengeance. We could have it be a big magic thing. It makes her a little more magical.
Okay.
Or it could be they have to be standing right next to her, because I think Azrat has a thing where if they're standing next to him when they hurt him, they take damage. And hers could include ranged damage reflection, just like pangs of guilt, maybe even.
Okay. It's not costed for range though.
It's not. That might bump her up to maybe an 8.
Yeah.
It's constant. Should it be a reaction? Because it's something that she does when she gets hurt.
Let me just find her. I'm trying to find Shy. Change the colours for some stupid reason. It doesn't make it obviously. Yeah, she's only got a 3. Okay.
Oh. Sorry, I'm a little.
Yeah, that bumps her.
A little drowsy.
That bumps her. Alright. So
should Rose's Fawns be a reaction instead of a constant?
It's a conditional constant. If the condition is that it's damaged. Yeah, it will reduce the cost. Should make it a reaction. Is Shael have a full name? She's just Shael.
Nope. Just Shael. That's all she ever had in the 75mm campaign.
Yeah, gotcha. On the damage side, it says if she's damaged, the attacker takes 2 dice of damage with a minimum of 1.
Yeah, so it can be bigger. It can be more.
It can be more, but it's a minimum of 1. So
yes.
It can be less. It can't be less.
It can't be less, but it can be more. Yeah, so it's ramped up a bit there.
Yeah, okay. So she's more pissed off at people and makes it more deadly.
Well, nature is getting rid. Harena. What do we need to fix here?
With a quick whirl, Harena's shiny arm
disarming blows. Reaction. Is there no cost on that?
Target attacker gains disadvantage and break.
Blinding flash and disarming blows have no fate crystal cost. That could be.
That's possibly what the problem is. With a quick whirl, Harena's shiny armor blinds foes. Aura 3 break any. It has an action requirement on it.
Yeah.
And that covers the break any, but the Aura 3 isn't covered.
Because it's multiple people.
Yeah. So yeah, it's probably blinding flash should have a cost of 1.
Yeah. Disarming blows. Target attacker gains. Target attacker. Yeah, makes it a reaction. Gains disadvantage and break. Wait.
It's not a reaction. That's an action.
What?
There's no reacting. She's just targeting an attacker.
Disarming blows is a reaction.
But she's just targeting someone.
What?
That's a constant because it's just it always applies. Anyone attacks her, it gains disadvantage and break attack.
In that case, you better reword it because target attacker. You just want to make it like anyone attacking her gets disadvantage. Because this implies it's an ability she puts on
target. Yeah. She triggers.
No. My point is the current wording implies they get disadvantage after the attack is resolved against her. Whereas what you really want is while attacking Harena, enemies gain disadvantage and break attack, essentially, which would make it a constant.
Okay, so what's disarming blows then? Someone attacks her and then she goes during the attack while they're attacking her. She goes ting 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 ting.
It's either something she does while they're attacking her, when they attack her, or afterwards as a retaliation.
It's a retaliation because it has no cost.
Okay, so yeah, in that case you want to make it like after the attack is resolved, target attack against disadvantage and break attack.
Yeah, or we add a cost to it and then we can do it while she's.
Yeah, if you add a cost to it, it's something she can do. Because as a free reaction, she can just do it every time someone attacks her.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Helps explain her cost of 8.
Yeah.
Man, blinding flash and disarming blows is a powerful combination. Oh, wow.
Does increase the text slightly, but we've got a couple of words.
Well, we check the wounded side, see.
Is there?
Oh.
There's nothing there. So, as a Swift, then.
Swift
As a Swift? A trigger. Yeah. Because it
but
always
a Swift
happens.
is something you can only do during your activation.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah. No, you can't do Swifts outside your own activation.
So it has to be a reaction then.
It has to be a reaction or a constant. I think you're thinking a reaction, which is cool. Target attack again. Oh, it's the same wording. What's going on?
What?
It's still... Okay. Okay, so it's still not clear whether it occurs before or after the attack is resolved.
Why not? After their attack.
Where? Oh, I see it now, yeah. Okay, yep. Right, phew. And just check the back, doesn't need anything, and she may be good.
Yeah, there's no text difference in the back. Right.
Nothing's changed. Okay, Vanarians or Vanarians. Vanarians. Yes. Are within 2. Right. Boastful glee. While Vanarians are within 2 of each other or of another Vanarian. It's not clear that, because that could be within 2 of anything. And you want to make it clear that they don't all have to be within 2 of both the other 2, just like within 2 of one of them. Otherwise, it's a really tight little group.
Each other. So within 2.
That works. Call the Lightning. Range 6 is quite short. Are we happy with that?
Within range 6 of all Vanarians.
Of all 3. So if they're standing in a line, or if they're in like a triangle formation or something, right? Or a little L shape or something. You know, if essentially you're having to measure from the furthest away guy, so that 6 actually gets down to like a 4 or something.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to surround them, basically. You've got to be standing in a triangle around them.
Oh, yeah, surround the target. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You need to surround the target in some way.
Oh, wait. Yeah, no, got it. I was thinking they had to be standing together, a very close-knit group, to do it. Instead of no, they can be as spread out as they like, but you need to be within 6 of all of them, so they could actually spread out quite widely around you.
Yeah, you could.
But then they wouldn't get boastful glee. Okay, that makes it more potent. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Are we happy
so you can get all 3 of them stand next to each other? I changed it. Sorry, I didn't read it.
Yeah. That works, then.
Well, Vanarians are within 2 of another Vanarian. They get advantage. The other one is, I don't like the cost. It's like hero level cost rather than troop level cost.
7, 11, 14 or 7, 10, 14, 7, 10, 13. I want to try and get it down a bit.
No, as in the 4 increase is as low as I can get it. The fact that it's a 7 already is
so you're wanting to get that 7 down to a 6 or something?
Yeah, so I mean it loses. Where's the Vanarian? Oh, they've only got 2 abilities, so that might have something to do with it. But it's still 6.6. So the question is, what one of their stats can we drop, or
what conditional thing can we do? Accuracy
1.
We could remove
just
accuracy
enough
a
to
bit.
drop it.
Could try dropping accuracy to 1.
Yeah, okay. That brings that down to a 6.
I mean, they could use Knight and Brute Fate cards for interesting effects anyway, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even if... Is there an upgrade card that gives accuracy? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
That's alright. It doesn't matter too much then. I'm just going to step away for a moment. Back in a little bit.
Alright. Anyone in chat want to step into Balkan's role and talk? Okay, so up to dire wolves. Something's wrong with the dire wolves. Wolf pack. While dire wolves are within 4 from each other or Ulvar, they gain speed of 1. This was contentious before. It's kind of the same as the Venarians above from each other, suggesting that one wolf needs to be within 4 from the other wolf. Oh, maybe the Venarians doesn't need, or another Venarian. Well, Venarians are within 2 of another Venarian. Yeah. And from each other.
Alright, I'm back.
So maybe it's the same wording. So we got the similar wording situation with Wolfpack about the each other. While dire wolves are within 4 from each other.
4 of another dire wolf or Ilva, or just of a beast?
No, we discussed beast. There's too many beasts in it to make that. So while the wolves are within 4 from another dire wolf or Ilva, they gain speed 1. And then the pack gathers while the dire wolves or Ilva attack the same target. Each dire wolf gains advantage per wolf that has attacked before.
Placeholder ability free on a troop that only has 2 abilities.
Yeah.
We can probably remove that.
Yeah. And then I'll double check the dire wolves don't have 3.
Check they aren't listed as a hero or something.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Troop. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Right, that's fine. They are still a bit expensive, but they are dire wolves, so it's sort of like... There's a point. That was something I was thinking. Dropping the attack score completely.
And just
they don't have weapons.
Having fist for brutes.
Yeah, they just... There's no
beasts.
weapon.
Not all beasts, but...
Yeah, just for the most part, if beasts don't have an attack
for them,
score.
Quite possibly. I mean, it would essentially raise their attack. And since it's higher anyway, they don't have any special attacks. Yeah, drop it. Or raise their attack to match it. Oh my god.
And their attack is a 2 though. So
do you realise what you've just done?
What?
You can't break attack if you're only using fist. Because it reduces the attack stat, it doesn't reduce the fist.
Yep.
Exactly so that makes them immune to that.
Yep. Effectively, melee, you can't take away someone's melee. Someone does a break attack on you, but you've still got melee. You can still punch.
Put like an asterisk or a dash or a 0 to force people to realise they can use the free.
Yeah,
that makes their deadly more deadly. It might make them more expensive.
Yes, it does. I don't
but
think deadly
it
applies.
might not catch on to that. It might not calculate fist as a default attack if there's no attack.
No, so it'll have to increase that to 3 to account for it. Yeah, because I put in whatever the attacking score is deadly to apply its cost.
Sure. Question from Shark. I cannot really help in balancing questions. Do you have some more creative questions? If not, I'll probably just leave since I cannot add to it. Okay,
we have more creative coming up.
What ability names can we look at that might need to be done?
For an FF.
I mean, we're going to have to do stuff with Raven abilities at some point, but that's not a renaming thing.
Yeah.
Red Raffen.
No, that's not renaming.
We need to retweak some of his abilities in line with the Ravens and other things. Malachi.
Same again.
Same again. Changes. Werewolfnir.
Arasalg.
No. Arasalg is okay. Yeah, maybe we could look at all the little Kelpies and transform cards and abilities for them, or ability names for them, because ability names might help us come up with cool abilities.
Well, the kind of Fangs of Fury we've got already for that. So
yeah, we got we got Noble Bear and Corona Bat.
Is the Discordian is the last one really?
Oh yeah, Shark may be inputting on.
Right, so yeah. So one of the ideas we had was we'd allow the Discord group to come up with a unit, so we could pick any unit that already exists.
Would be an alternate profile for an existing unit.
Yeah, that's it. So if you have so far seen a character that you go, oh, that character would be cool, let's redo that one with a increased change,
or completely different ability,
or completely different even. That's right. You know about that.
You know what? We could rename that one to Return to the Fold.
Oh. I'm going to leave that one.
We don't have to. Yes. So yeah.
Oh dear.
Who would we like to be different?
Who we got left here? We got Schismatic, and we've got
Shark.
I'm curious, Balgam, when you're saying the event pops up,
it seemed. Yeah, the
has
event
it not gone away for you?
Hasn't gone away yet.
Gone away. Mine goes away if I move the mouse away from.
I've tried everything.
Oh, okay. Ah, look, I can actually click start event.
How many hours late?
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't even know I had to press the button start event.
It's gone now.
I just thought the event was there.
The event notification has gone now.
Oh.
Wow.
From my end, I needed to press the button. Great. Okay.
So it could be like one of the undead, one of the demons.
And if we need to look for a list, let me know.
Yeah, if you need to look at a list of characters, we can provide that as well, or just like scroll up and down the page here, you know. Okay, he's added the event to the Google Calendar so it'll be easier to remember. I mean, okay, that's cool.
I'll check. There's the sheep.
Oh, you know it's gonna be like Yakun the Fire Blaster with a load of like Azrat's abilities.
Kelpie.
Yakun the Destroyer.
I think it mildly curious that the Rose Knight is like the lowest ranked character in all of them. It's like, this particular web page is broken and not loading up the text. I still haven't figured out how to do that, but it doesn't matter. It's just for the sake of reviewing them.
Unfortunately, I am
sorry it comes in so low
because we haven't done some of his stuff yet, or because it's not all. Hang on.
No, I thought we did.
Are those
we did
final? It might be. Cost of 4. Plummet heck.
Then maybe his stats aren't done. Maybe his stats didn't load up. No, see, it didn't load up.
No, so cost of 8. Yeah, it didn't load up. That's a relief. Blimey.
It's not loading the undead banner for some reason.
I'm kind of liking the idea of Yakun the Destroyer. Or, like...
Really?
Unless we can come up with something better. Livia the Peacemaker.
I was then to think, if you're going to go with Yakun, we can go with a terrible idea. Okay. Because remember, Yakun is actually a young girl. So we could give coming of age and then make her really, really powerful and very angry.
Yakun PMT version. I thought you were going to say make her a cross-dresser, and actually it was a boy all along.
No, that would be terrible. This artwork doesn't... You can't see it enough.
It doesn't fit very well.
It's just so dark. Kind of want to give it...
You'd have to like put a fade on it when it goes behind the writing a bit.
To get this image here, I had to use that stupid image he took in front of the chair and crop it all out. And then the sword didn't even have... Because the sword gets overlaid by the other character. Luckily, though, the sword sort of disappears behind labeled. Yes.
Okay, what other characters we got that it might be interesting to do a different version of? Bukta, the ogre wrestling brute. Valros. Oh.
Valros, the demon version.
Well, we got the demonic version. We could have the undead faction version because she's a necromancer. We could have a demonic version. Or really mess with Demon Henril.
Technically this is the undead version.
Yeah, technically this is the undead version. It's just been put in the demon faction for some awkward reason.
Yeah. I want to fix that little bug, and I think I introduced it last night. So, but I don't have time right now to deal with it. How many Fs do I have in my list? I've only got 16 Fs left.
Well, that's great.
So, and I think half of them are just double checking that we did or didn't.
Yeah, a lot of them are just double checking or a spelling fix or something, or a grammatical thing.
Aphroditus needs a name.
Name needed, ability name.
Okay, Shark, you're up.
Yep.
It's your turn. We need a name for this one. Pull 3, boost any friendly character within 4 and sight. This pull is not reduced by the huge keyword. So Aphroditus basically says to a friendly character, come over here. And even if they're huge.
Rally to me. I call you to my side. Get over here.
Hey, Mikey, come give me a slippery kiss. It's a reference to Goonies.
Yeah, people seem to like that.
Okay, so thesaurus.
Sorry, I got stuck. All I could think of was that scene from Firefly of the guy going, "Unification Day!" shortly before we break into a barroom brawl.
Okay, so magnetic.
Commanding presence tether. We have as a suggestion.
Commanding presence.
Oh, animal magnetism or magnetic presence, maybe.
Well, at the very least, I'm going to start with commanding presence.
Absolutely. You've got the whole text of the ability selected, not just the name.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't have any effect on things. Where's Aphrodite's gone?
Rallying cry? That would imply a group, wouldn't it?
I want to switch his eyes without the rest of the image loading.
Oh. I've seen another F. Born leader. Command. The commanded character gains "fuck you" and may then perform any action.
You have to pronounce it that way, don't you? You can't help
it's the way you spelled it.
Yeah, sure.
It's Foka. Yeah, commanding presence is good. It works.
Small coughing fit off camera. There's the commands of the present. And half the time, Shark, you just end up leaving it there because it's the best we've got. I got a couple of ones. I'll read them out, but I don't expect any of them. This is just using thesaurus to grab different keywords. Magnetizing grasp or magnetic something. Tactical or tether. Tug, lure, attraction, influence, unity, coordination.
The pull of authority. But he's written magnetic pull as a suggestion.
Too scientific.
It might sound too scientific.
The magnetic charisma would be charismatic magnetic.
Manly magnetism. Babe magnet.
So I get a cough again.
Has the focus been fixed yet? I don't need to see proof. I just simple question, you know. It has. Good.
If you didn't need to see proof, then you wouldn't have said it.
No, you could have just told me, because you could have, refreshed the page when you had something more important to show off, like a new ability name or something.
Back to Chrysler again.
It's they move 3 squares towards him.
Pull allows characters to drag targets towards the character or with the character who activated using it. The target is moved towards the activated character. A number of spaces pull value. In the case of units at reach, each space must reduce the range between the pulling character, or if at base to base contact, maintain base contact. Some bull actions allow the character to drag another character along for that move value. Normal move rolls apply to the pull. Move your character first, then move the pulled character in the spot you vacated. So you can use a move and pull at the same time.
We have Inspiring Call as a suggestion.
Oh, yeah, okay. I moved away from Aphrodite, so I'm so sorry. There we go. Inspiring Call. Commanding Presence does sort of suggest a generic aura versus Inspiring Call. It's calling out to someone and saying, hey, I inspire you.
I mean, okay, I'm thinking more foreigns to me, oh my kinfolk, from the Battle of the Five Armies, not the version in the film.
Which is a good Inspiring Call. No, I like that. That's a good
yeah.
one.
Inspiring Call is great, yeah. Let's see if we can get some other ability names for characters who need them, like that Kaboom ability. We should call it Beat Them Back or Beat Back.
Brave Star has a slightly different version on the back of the card.
Yeah.
Versus Aphrodite is threatened by a single enemy.
So not quite so Brave Star, Courageous Star.
Not quite so. The Courageous Star.
Fading Star.
No, I don't mind about that. That one's not, because it's just a number change. So I don't really like to change it unless the text itself changes, right?
Okay.
Commanding Presence originally had, whatever it was, it had the same thing, and it's increased. So pull 3 becomes pull 4.
So it's more powerful.
Yeah.
So Inspiring Cry, perhaps?
6. And this one, not reduced by the huge keyword. So it's kind of, it's still just a number change though. The question is, do we want to change the name and change the text?
Same name, and don't need to check. Only if we want to change the text, we could, but
no, just if we want to change it around, we'll change. If we change the effect of it, then we change the name. Otherwise, just leave it there.
Oh God, is the reason why it's only one person that's affected by it because not very many Kickstarter backers reacted when he tried to inspire them and rouse them up?
Yes. Exactly. It was.
So it's a slightly inspiring call. That's bad.
He's not bad.
No, he's not bad.
Because
he's limited.
He's giving an inspiring speech. He's doing this inspiring speech, but only one person is actually coming. Encouraging recall. That's interesting. But that suggests that he called them, and then they didn't come, and then they did come. So,
do we correct the spelling of star?
No, because the joke is
encouraging recall. Okay, Brave Star. He's like, oh no, Mr. Frodo, I got to give an inspiring call. I'm such a brave star. We got to fight these demons with everything we got.
Everything we got.
Sure.
It's so hard to listen to him doing that accent.
I wasn't trying that hard. It should be a bit more West Country, but yeah, sure. Yeah. Inspiring Call is great. Awesome.
Did we finish up Chrysler in the end? Kaboom.
Kaboom needs a name.
Kaboom. But herself, everything else about it is done. So I'll take
everything else is kind of done, yeah.
Off of her and put it onto the name, so we know it's a lot of fun. Nettie, Phantom Strike, that should cancel out that FF. Yasa still needs doing. Harena we just did. Just going over the list in my document.
Yeah, let's keep working that list down.
I just did.
Everything completed is another thing that doesn't need to be done again.
That's it. Come on. That's the Kaboom.
Mm-hmm.
That's Yasa.
Yeah, Yasa stuff.
Shield Maidens.
Shield Maidens. What do we need to do here?
Just checking. It's a lot of them I put an FF on. We haven't checked this yet. We got this far in last time's walkthrough, and then we stopped.
That's a constant. It's worded as a reaction.
If all shield maidens have moved at least one, they all gain a
shield token at the end of their activation. Also, we need to specify when it's, because it'll be constant. Because otherwise, it's just like what, as soon as they move, which would turn it into a reaction.
Or if all
no. Oh, so it's a reaction to the third one ending her activation.
In fact, yes.
But because it's a unit and they all act, it's a chain activation anyway. So yeah, at the end of the unit. So yeah.
So it can't be a reaction because it would react to one character. It's a constant of.
So
it's a conditional constant. The condition is they've all moved. Given that they've all moved, they all gain a shield token.
Yep, fair enough. I was like, so.
But let's change the wording from if to once.
To what? Yes, to once. Yes. Or once or when, because you're like, okay, so the third one moves. If she moves first, does she get the shield token immediately or at the end of her activation? Or does she get it as soon as she's moved one square?
Each. What? No, okay, yeah, each.
So are we going to the Are we going down the Ocelite Guard route where they just get it at the end of their activation because the whole unit's going to chain activate anyway? But they would have it conditional on moving one square instead of, because the Ocelite Guards just get it at the end of their activation, and the Shield Maidens would have to move to get it.
And so the key point with the Shield Maiden is they might be able to move one square, which triggers someone's reaction attack, but they put the shield token on before the reaction attack.
Yeah.
Shark, when you said before that about the creative part, we also need people just to, when we walk through this, ask questions like, hang on, that doesn't make sense.
Like what does that do?
Why does that not work? Why did you word it that way? So that, it's part and parcel of the two of us. We can nammer on all day. We don't when we think we worded it correctly.
There's no range listed for Shield Thunder.
Right.
We might want to assign it a range in case they get a break move token or something.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I love questions. So I'm cool with the questions. What range on Shield Thunder? All mounted and troop units gain disadvantage and break move.
Yeah, so is that like all within range or all on the entire table or what? It needs.
If the unit is within two
of two or more shield, move them away from the battle by away from battle. What's that mean?
Yeah, that's probably why there's an FF on this.
Probably it's. I mean, you were probably thinking away from the middle of the table or towards their own table edge or something. Or I'd think away from the Shield Maidens. I'm not sure. I'll go pour myself a drink. Back in a little bit.
Right. All mounted and troop units gain disadvantage and break move. That's extremely powerful. Shield Thunder. If the unit is within two of two or more Shield Maidens, within range two of two or more Shield Maidens, move them away from battle, push. Push 5. So the keyword push is the opposite of pull. You move them in as straight a line as possible away from a given unit. What do you reckon? Shield Thunder is at the moment worded in such a way to suggest that everybody on board gets disadvantage and break move. Because it's thunder, right? Everyone's going to go, oh crap, where did that thunder come from? It's an action, though. Oh, it's all. And maybe the horse. Okay. What do you reckon? Turn on your speakers if you want to talk to me about it. But what do you reckon that if the Shield Maidens do this, the whole board gains disadvantage and a break move, like the whole board, and horses get an extra one because like the horses get skittish, right? The only characters who won't cop it are the immune characters. I think immune characters. Ignore it. The rules. Characters immune aren't susceptible to some of the conditions that normally affect characters. Characters immune cannot receive poison, curse, and banes for any reason. Additionally, characters cannot be flanked. Some units may specify immune poison to show them. Only applies to that condition. Alright, so just double checking. Right.
I had an idea we could redefine it.
No. I'm just going to add that mounted gain this twice.
Okay.
There is no mounted unit. Oh no, there is. Ulva is a mounted unit.
Ulva and Rodrigo. And
Rodrigo is a mounted unit. For the moment, that's the only two units that are going to get caught the negative of this. So you've got to be a little bit. Should I use this? But there is the chance because they get break move.
Can I make a suggestion?
You can.
That we change away from battle, which is undefined, to away from the nearest objective or altar.
I just changed it to push.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, okay.
I was like, because that way it could be like, if we had a unit that actively chases people away from objectives, that would be interesting. Future thing, push works.
The idea of Shield Thunder is they somehow slam their shields together and cause thunder. And the entire board gets disadvantage and break move as a result.
Oh, that's definitely getting a fake cost then.
Good or bad? No, because it offset. Your friends get it too.
No, I get that. It's everyone, but we probably want to put a limit on, a localized limit on it. Because I was very much under the impression they're beating their weapons on their shields and hurling insults and abuse and being very intimidating. Yeah,
well, it seems past me determined that Shield Thunder caused actual thunder. And the entire board goes, oh crap, where did that come from?
Like, we're here, everyone else backs away.
Okay, how about once per game? If I put a once per game as the cost on it, are we cool with that?
Nah.
Oh, come on. That's a good one.
Hang on, I was swallowing my drink. I was going to say, we don't have any once per game abilities yet.
Yeah,
and this game already uses so many tokens to track whether certain things have been used, like attacks of opportunity, reaction attacks. Sorry.
The advantage here is we might not have enough disadvantage tokens.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we should probably limit it to a certain area. Put a range limit on it, so it's not the whole battlefield. Oh. Maybe it'd be like target a single unit within range and affect them with this whole thing, rather than everything. might be a bit more balanced.
It's not exactly thematic to a shield maiden. I get that.
It's more like a shield wall, but
but it's so cool.
It's suitably barbaric. Maybe you should limit it to not be the whole board. Because wait, you haven't costed it as the whole board, have you?
Yeah, I've costed it.
Oh.
So the
I
range
think if it's whole board, you'll have to remove the disadvantage of a break move and just be like push everyone away from this.
No, the push only works if you're within 2 of 2 shield maidens.
Yeah, my point is the sheer amount of disadvantage and break move tokens you're going to have to hand out to the whole board is just bonkers.
Okay, so we just limit it by tokens. It's a once per game, so it's just you just know for that whole round everyone has disadvantage and break move.
This would be our first once per game ability.
Yeah.
I think this might be getting a bit out of hand here.
Okay, we'll revisit.
Wait. God, no.
No, what?
No.
What?
No.
What?
I have reasons why it should not be once per game.
Why?
The reason is you've got 2 units of them and they're not elite. So then that's twice per game. Each of them could do it.
If you field them both, then you get it twice per game.
If they were an elite unit, maybe, but as it currently stands, I think the effect should be a little more localized. And also, of course, when you've taken it away from them, all they've got is a constant ability and shield tokens and guard tokens.
Yeah, like Ocelot guards and most other guys. Like, if you look at all the troops, they've all got bonus boost effects rather than specific game effects.
I get that.
Like
my point is that, that active ability, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, and that's part of the cost of it.
It feels wrong that it should affect the whole board. It feels too big. It also feels... Right, so bear with me on this, right? Let's presume you've got a player who hasn't painted their Shield Maiden miniatures and has both units of Shield Maidens on the table.
Yeah.
And some have been killed from each unit.
Yeah.
And he has one use the Shield Thunder ability, and then one of them gets killed, and he can't remember which unit the remaining ones... he can't remember if he can still do it a second time or not, because one unit may or may not have been wiped out, and he's forgotten who was with which unit.
No, because Vincent added as a stretch goal base clips.
I like Shark's suggestion. Oh! Actually, Shark's suggestion is why not the closest X units? And I was like, and give it a cost of X, where you're paying for each unit you're affecting. So, one mounted or troop unit with,
Because the problem here is it's supposed to affect yours as well as your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So the cost effect is for every one of your troops who's affected, one of their troops is affected. You start the game, you could trigger it at the start of the game, and you're going to be absolutely matched, equal to equal. All a minor disadvantage, all of yours a disadvantage. Halfway through the game, you might go, "Oh, I'm losing. I've got less troops than my opponent does. Probably a better idea to trigger it then, because you're going to affect more of your enemy than your friends." But then you've delayed to the point in the game where you might not even get to trigger it because maybe someone kills off your last Shield Maiden before you trigger it, and so you've missed out on the whole ability, and you've already paid for it in the shield.
Yeah, I'm thinking we have to totally rework this ability before it can be final. It's not looking finished yet. It needs some work somehow.
Agree to disagree. Well, we'll have to come back to it then, because at the moment it's perfectly balanced.
I am totally. I've played loads of War Machine and Hordes. I'm totally in favour of once per game abilities. It's just a concept that hasn't been introduced in Limbo at all yet, and Limbo seems to like using tokens to track things, and it's adding additional complexity to an already complex game. So it feels like it needs something. Let's leave it for now. Go look at another card and come back to it sometime later.
Alright. Next, FF. Radarafin.
Ah. Right. This is to do with the Raven abilities and his abilities needing more synergy.
Radarafin can summon storm clouds with terrible thunder above and light rain. That by itself,
I have a strong suggestion. I think Run with the Wolves should affect Werewolf Near as well, if we can fit it on. Or even...
Is he supposed to transform into a wolf? Is the earlier idea?
The idea is it's not really clear whether he temporarily transforms or not. It's kind of like a trance state, and he can't remember. He just sort of ends up where they are. And
so, for each dire wolf within 2 of Radrafin may move an extra 1. And you want to include Radrafin in case there are no wolves.
No, sorry, I misread it as them all getting to move as well. In which case, I was like, the werewolf should count too. No, that's fine. No, keep it like that. No. So Radrafin can summon storm clouds with terrible thunder above and light rain. All units within 6 and line of sight of Radrafin gain break all. 1 enemy model takes 3 dice of damage. So how does this work with regard to the Ravens and their reworked abilities? I think we were trying to work out that it needed to be damage based.
So Raven's Eyes, all Olog hunters may increase ability ranges by 1 if both the activated unit and the target unit are within half of the Raven's movement. All thunderstorms, all units within 6 and line of sight.
That 6 essentially becomes a 9 because of Raven's Mind and Raven's Sight. So, because it would be within 3 of the Raven, which is within 6 of him. You know.
All line of sight effects may be traced from the Ravens if the friendly caster has line of sight and range of the Ravens.
Hang on. If both the activated unit and the target unit are within half the Raven's movement. So it's not really a range extender, it's a... Because the Raven's within 3 of him and the target's within 3 of the Raven, that range of 6 of his going up to a 7 isn't really going to change much, is it?
No. And it won't multiply because then the Raven...
No, it won't multiply.
Both ranges. So 1 Raven will trigger it. 3 Ravens...
But my point is that the Raven won't increase the range, because if the Raven's within 3 of Radrafin and the target's within 3 of Radrafin, then the target is within 6 of Radrafin already, so that 1 range extension is irrelevant.
Yes, that's right.
So it needs something else.
What do you mean need someone? No, I mean I'm happy as it is.
I mean it's not doing anything.
Yeah, we don't want thunderstorms to do anything from that.
No, I mean this range extension isn't doing anything because his range already gets there.
So anyone who in range 7 will now gain break all instead of range 6. So if you put a Raven in between Radrafin and...
No, because if it's within 3 squares of him, then it's in the 3rd square.
Yeah.
It's not, its base edge is in the 4th square and there's 3 empty squares between them, right?
No, so
so it's in the 3rd square of his 6 square range.
Yeah.
Which means the target needs to be in the 6th square of his 6 square range for him to get a 1 square range increase. Yes. At which point, that range increase does nothing for him.
Now, the range increase doesn't apply to thunderstorms because thunderstorms is not using the word range. So ignore for thunderstorms. There's no range in that. It's all units within 6. So don't talk about thunderstorms when you're talking about the birds.
Target in line of sight. Okay, so there's no range on terrible curses either. So he's literally gaining nothing from it.
Yeah, so that's part of the problem we're talking about, is that Radrafin doesn't have an affinity with the Ravens.
We need to tweak stuff.
Applying it to thunderstorms is not going to have any effect.
No,
because units within 6, even if it goes to units within 7.
If we give terrible curses a range of 4 or 5 or something, and then the Ravens could extend that an extra square, that would make.
But I guess the thing is that Radrafin is supposed to have. Radrafin's terrible curses are supposed to be anywhere on the board. They're terrible curses. They just have to be line of sight.
I think he's just got no Raven synergy currently.
No, he does for the line of sight, because remember, Raven's
so he gets half synergy. He doesn't get all of it.
And that was the point. Raven's line of sight is for Radrafin, and Raven's eyes is for Jungvold.
So what do we need for him? Because we got the F.
I think it was just.
I think we were considering reworking thunderstorms to have a range so that they could work with the Ravens better, and that's why we put the Fs there.
I think there was a confusion there, that the line of sight one is supposed to be Radrafin's boost from the Ravens, and the range boost is supposed to be Jungvold's boost from the Ravens. I don't want Jungvold's boost to apply to Radrafin, and I don't want Radrafin's boost to be applied to Jungvold.
Technically, what it does is for his range attack, so his range bands of 2 go up to a 3 if there's a Raven within 3 of him. And the enemy's 6 away, so then he's got range 3, so it's in the 3rd range band instead of the 4th one for range 2.
It's
2, 4, 6 goes to 3, 6. So that's where it comes in. Okay, he's got stuff there.
It does.
So
but it's not like a huge thing.
What else were we considering might need? I think it was just checking.
Yeah, most of these are just checking.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that line of sight is, if I've got no Ravens on the board, I have to see the guy. In which case, your opponent wants to make sure. Like, if I go, I'm playing Radrafin, then my opponent's going to go, I need to.
Got a question. Why is Thunderstorm swift?
I don't know.
Because you can only do a swift once in your activation, and you might only be able to do 1 swift in your activation. So having 2 swift abilities on the card might be a bit of an issue.
Let's check. I think swift is that you can't do the same one twice.
It might be you can't do the same, but it might be you can't do more than 1.
Swift abilities are like active abilities, except they don't consume any action. However, each swift ability can only be activated once each activation, and only during the activation of the character using the swift ability.
Yeah, so he can have 2 swift abilities and use them both. Yeah. That's fine.
So the key point is he can cast Thunderstorms, and he can cast Run with Wolves, and he can do Terrible Curses, and he can have his standard attack.
You know what? I know last time you were talking about using Run with the Wolves to advance forwards to use Thunderstorms, but I'm like, he could also use it to run away afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So he could be already there and go, Thunderstorms, run away. Or run up, Thunderstorms. Yeah. If anything, actually.
Well, because Terrible Curses is line of sight as well, right? He has line of sight for Ravens. So he might walk forwards, curse something, drop Thunderstorms, run away.
Yep.
And then, wait for it, he'd still be able to do a token ability for his bonus hero thing, because he's only done a walk. No. So walk forwards is 1 action.
Yeah.
Thunderstorms is a swift. Run with Wolves is a swift.
Yep.
So then he could move again.
Yep.
And do a token action or something, or do a magic attack.
Yeah.
It's insane.
In fact, if he has some wolves up ahead of him, he could move and then use the Run with the Wolves to move further backwards.
Yeah.
So
there's lots of potential repositioning stuff here.
Yeah.
It's all fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, he's so flexible.
Okay, Malachi.
Oh, yeah, right.
Northern Fury Lion's Roar. Malachi's powerful greatsword attack. 3 deadly. So this is supposed to be an attack, so there's first thing because it's an attack there. I've even got it in the notes that it's a genre attack. Right.
Okay, I've got a question. Oh, no. Because people might go, what's his bonus skill? You mean his skill bonus action? Got it. Okay. I was temporarily confused there. If falls within line of sight distance of 5, gain focus. An adjacent enemy retreats from Malachi, shift 1 into... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you damage him, you can use your bonus skill and standard attack again. I mean, it's likely to happen because deadly 3, but still you can roll a bunch of blanks. It's possible to roll a bunch of blanks, so... Vengeance. If any ally falls within line of sight and distance of 5, gain focus, which is typically going to happen from Northern Fury. And then following step, if an adjacent enemy retreats from Malachi, shift 1 into adjacent space to that end. An adjacent enemy retreats.
I think one of them's different.
Yeah, Vengeance changes to Avenge Me.
Yes.
Shift 1. So instead of saying if an ally falls within line of sight and distance of 5, gain focus, it's shift 1 if in base contact with friendly unit.
Yeah, that's
sword equipment card to that unit.
Fist, cloak, and
he hands over his sword.
What's his fist on the front?
Now, okay, problem. But here's one of the reasons why the problem. Sorry, didn't have time to.
It's okay. Take your time.
Mute. The Avenge Me, shift 1 if in base contact with a friendly unit, give the sword. The unit needs to be a once only per game because he's just handed off his big sword to someone.
Yeah.
And gone, Avenge me! And handed over the sword.
Wait.
And it should really be
maybe
if he dies.
Maybe it's give the sword equipment card to that unit and remove him from the table.
So Malachi has to die to make it trigger.
Well, not he has to die to trigger it, but he moves over there and removes himself. You know, like the demon sheep. It's like he leaves the table, but he leaves his weapon behind, gives it to someone else.
Are you thinking about it as also that you're denying your opponent victory points?
No, I think they would get victory points for this one. Like he just staggers over there with bleeding out heavily. With his last dying breath, gives a sword to him, is like, avenge me, and collapses. And it's like, yeah, totally counts as a kill for the enemy, but...
Yeah, but removing from the board automatically doesn't. So far we've got it that every time someone removes someone from the board, you don't get any victory points.
Yeah, but
so
we've also
how
only
about
got 2 instances of it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in terms of the amount of space for words on the cards at this point, because there's he's a bit crowded already on the back.
Okay.
So you could make it a reaction if he falls. Give the sword equipment card to a allied, friendly unit in base-to-base contact with him when he goes down. Instead of the shift 1, and instead of making it an action, make it a reaction.
Yeah.
You got Shark asking how your neck is.
That's terrible.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I don't have a day where I don't wake up in pain or go to sleep in pain.
Oh my god, how long's that been going on for?
2 years.
Oh, that is bad.
Yeah, I've just gotten to the point where I've gotten used to it. I go to the chiropractor and get adjustments from time to time. Yeah, it sucks. But thanks for asking. Thanks for reminding me of my pain. Get to a point when you're old, everything hurts. You just, like, my knee hurts all the time. But that's been hurting since I was in my 20s. I used to be a stage dancer and I fell off the stage and landed on my knee in the crowd.
my everything hurts ever since I was born, but that's because I have fibromyalgia and I thought it was normal and everyone else was just too stupid or too tough to feel the pain and complain about it as much as I did.
You're just permanently old.
It does mean that I have a... it does mean that I differentiate between pain threshold and pain tolerance and pain barrier, you know. It's like I have a very low pain threshold, you know, at which I will feel pain.
Yeah.
But my pain barrier at which it will actually disable me is higher because I'm just used to constantly experiencing it.
I needed to sit up. I needed the reminding that I should not be sitting in the chair I was, and I should sit up. So it was a good distraction. If I can get that word attack off the back side of the card to pop up slightly by rewording it, actually I don't need to repeat Malachi's powerful greatsword. How about that?
No, you can just take that off. Front side of the card. You can take it off the front side as well. Really.
I'll leave it on the front side so that people know what Northern Fury Alliance Raw is. But on the back side, we can take it off, which gives us a little bit more space.
Which will give you a bit more space for Avenge Me as well.
Yeah, so Avenge Me can be. What I want to do, but I know you're not going to be too happy with the idea. If we say that when Malachi falls, don't remove his model from the board. Any friendly unit in base contact may take the sword equipment, or words to that effect.
And then he falls after they take it.
He's already fallen, but you don't take his model off until they take it.
Well, here's the thing: he does have 3 swords on the model, not just 1.
Oh, so you want to allow more than 1 unit?
We could allow more than 1. It could be like when Malachi falls, he gains Defiant until the end of the round, and adjacent friendly units may use the interact action available with alters and various scenario objectives. You know, just if we just utilize the existing interact action to take swords off him. And then he goes at the end of the round. So it's a time-limited offer. It's not for the rest of the game, blocking that square so no one can go in it. It's a big multi-base model wanting to go in, going, he's in my way.
It wouldn't be blocking, but in the sense of, wouldn't you allow someone to sword as the trigger to take the model off the board?
If you can fit it in, the words in, sure. You know, like they take one sword and then he goes, you know. If you can word it well and get it to fit on the card, it should be okay. And then we still got the werewolf to sort out.
Let's see if this... When Malachi falls, leave his model on the board until a friendly unit uses interact to gain the sword equipment card. And it fits.
I mean, the implication is that at that point he's removed.
Yeah.
It feels like we should explain that blatantly, but also we don't really have the space, just, you know.
So is it not leave the model on the board until...
Yeah, until... the word until is very helpful. Sure.
He uses interact to gain the sword equipment.
Leave the model on the board makes it vulnerable to pushes and pulls and stuff.
Yeah. Your opponent can come up and push it away.
So Gouge will be like, I'm going to use my hook and chain to drag him over here so you can't get him. And like, I'm going to run over there and get him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's like a game of catch or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a... Oh no! Oh my god!
What?
Can you write this one down as an idea?
Okay.
For campaign scenario, Malachi is disabled, and enemies that push and pull him around while the good guys have to chase him down, and he's in his avenge me state. Wait. He's in his avenge me state at the beginning of the game, but can be healed up to 1 health.
I started writing this down, and when I realized you just turned him into a football, I'm like, no, come on.
No. The idea was like he's badly wounded, and you can go get a sword from him or heal him, depending on if you've actually got a healer alive at that point in the campaign.
Okay.
It wasn't like 2 trolls playing tennis with him, batting him back and forth between them or something, you know.
There's a game called... It might also be called Blood Sword. It's a computer game, and it has really good mechanical physics of swinging your weapon left and right and up and down. And if you
Die by the Sword?
Die by the Sword, that's right. Did you play it?
I did. The guy mispronounced kobold, and I stopped playing.
Yeah.
And there was the stupid swinging upside down by your ankle fights and shit on elastic band things that just took the fun out of it at that point. So I stopped playing. I didn't finish.
But there was a level where they gave you an immortal goblin, and everyone played as trolls with the big giant bats, and you used to bat the goblin up and down the field and try to knock him into the goal.
Oh dear.
It has some really clever physics to it, though.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
Off the top.
Have you seen Exanima?
Exanima?
At some point. Well,
like
Exanima. Just all as one word. It's not Examiner, it's Exanima. It's a fancy game with purely physics-based combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, taller characters have a better reach, but they also have a worse sense of balance. Shorter characters are more stable, don't get knocked over so easy, but can't reach so far, things like that. Your attacks can bat people about and stuff.
Okay, I think for the next one, we're going to need Schismatic and Shark to pipe up on this one and give us some feedback.
As much as possible, please.
Yeah, because this one might sound a little bit confusing, and so we want to make sure it's not confusing. So it's up to you guys to say, yes, that's not confusing, or no, that...
Shall we explain the basic thing first?
It's not that kind of piping up.
So the basic thing is you have Ulfnir's human card and his werewolf card. And when his human card gets badly hurt enough to flip over to the wounded side, he goes to the healthy side of the werewolf. Then when that one gets damaged enough, it flips over to the wounded side of the werewolf. Then when the wounded werewolf gets damaged enough, it flips over to the wounded side of the human, which can't flip over to anything else. So it's a 4-stage process.
So you start off as Ulfnir the human.
Yep.
And if Ulfnir takes enough damage to turn his card to damaged, instead swap this card with Ulfnir's wereform. Discard any extra damage to take disadvantage. So then we come down to his wereform.
Yeah, we've pretty much finished the human version. It's finishing the werewolf version.
So he transforms once damaged into werewolf. And so he's got his leap attack, his wolf pack attack, and then he has enraged transformation. If Werewolf takes enough damage to turn his card to damage, give all units within 3 days and gain disadvantage, then flip to the damage side. So he enrages as he does so. Now he's even more powerful again. And so he's got Savage Mauling in the Pack Gathers, and then he says, if Werewolf takes enough damage to fell him, swap this card with Ulfnir's human damage side and gain advantage. So he doesn't die, he transforms back into the human form version, but he's damaged. And then he's unable to restore or recover from that point.
Yeah.
Is that straightforward?
Feel free to say no if the answer is no. Because we want to be clear here.
Okay, so do you reckon it needs an FAQ in the rulebook or something for Ulfnia?
Yeah, and maybe even a Kickstarter update.
Yeah, possibly what we could do is explain it in a Kickstarter update and ask people. So I could do screenshots of each of them.
So it's a fixed sequence. You can't go backwards in the sequence.
So maybe what I should do is put the cards in and say, can you understand this?
Put the card images in the correct order to make it a little bit easier for people to follow. I'll be like, the puzzle of the werewolf. Can you understand? Can you comprehend its savage ferocity?
Yeah. Okay, maybe I chuck it into the chat.
Sure, that as well. You never know.
1.5 rules discussion. Yeah.
Do any of his other abilities need stuff? Because
did you see this one already, Balgan?
Which one?
Ulfnir, the non-transforming version.
So
the transforming version costs 6, and the non-transforming one costs 8. It's pretty much the same. Berserker, Ulfnir gains advantage. Blood Moon axe. So the Blood Moon Axe Blade is X. Attack with cleave X, pierce X, and accuracy +1. Wolf Blood is Battle Cry Beast, then gain advantage, accuracy, and after activation break all disadvantage. So you activate, you kind of extra powerful, you Battle Cry to all the other beasts in the area, and then you go back to break all disadvantage.
At one point, we considered having the transformation being a reaction to taking off damage to flip the card side, and one, but then it could kind of get a bit infinite, so it had to then go into sort of a reaction with a shard cost, and then we went for just keeping it.
Rafa, are you responding to Shark?
Kind of. I was kind of explaining a bit in response, but so he's written here. I just wonder why if the human get enough damage, then it would go to the damaged human side. Otherwise, he could evolve it, if not damage to the werewolf side. My other take would be that you could have, by these rules, human equals greater than damaged human if hurt.
No, not equal greater than, as in directional. Human to damaged human if hurt.
And werewolf to damaged werewolf. But you could still transform somehow. So he's saying each card could have a usual flip, but with a transformation ability. I think it's because in the transformation we don't necessarily keep damage between the two forms.
You get transformed, you take a disadvantage, and you lose all extra damage tokens. You basically heal up. You're healing back to full at each stage. Instead, flip to Ulfnir's Wed card. Okay, yeah. If Ulfnir takes enough damage, instead of swap this card, flip to Ulfnir's.
To make things further confusing, you have to pay the shard cost for both cards when building your army list. So you'd pay for the human version of him and the werewolf version of him, or the human version that can't transform and don't pay for werewolf, and that's where it gets a little more complicated.
I think that's a holdover from previous version.
Yeah.
So previous version was you could pay the hero cost without getting the
werewolf cost, and then he wouldn't transform. Yeah.
It wouldn't transform because you didn't pay for the other card, but you've lost out.
So really, he's like a 12 shard hero, not a 6, because you pay for the wolf card as well.
But now that I've introduced the human Ulfnir 8, I can make this the actual full cost of the Were Ulfnir You pay for it all up at once.
And just put it all on the one card, and then the wolf version has no cost.
Yeah, either the wolf version has no cost, or we could make a separate card for someone to just play with the werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's schismatic. It's definitely a good idea. Instead, flip to Ulfnir's were card would be instead of swap this card with his card and this. Yeah. If damaged, flip to. Instead of saying if Ulfnir takes enough damage to turn his card to damage, we could just say if damaged.
Or, and here's the really wacky thing, get the printers to put the healthy werewolf version on the back of the human version of Ulfnir, and put both healthy versions on one card and both wounded versions on another card. Right? Because then you would be just flipping this card, and then on the back of the second one it would be, go to this card.
Yeah.
It would be less complicated, but we'd have to check that they wouldn't mess it up and just do two normal cards,
Okay, so for the moment then that means still going to stay in the to fix pile.
It is getting on for 11:30 in the evening now, so we've been
8.
going a couple of hours.
Yep. So we've only got
Arasal.
4 left.
What do we need?
We've got 4 left.
Up to 3 cards.
So Alsag, up to 3 characters within X, excluding yourself, receive a frozen token, which is those little crystal got. What does a frozen token do? That's for the FF. What
Icy Stare.
Token? Icy Stare has
There's
an
no
effect
E in Icy.
No, there's a reason for that, though. There was a
spelling mistake.
Ice Eye. Ice Eye. Because he's looking into the eyes. It's Ice Eye.
That's really bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It needs a better name.
That's like Kingdom Death spelling levels of bad. Apply a stun token and wound token. X -1 cost is... Oh, right, yeah.
Target rank, which is listed there. Troop 0, Hero 1.
And Feast of the Fallen, which is the opposite of Shael's ability. She does it when allies fall. He does it when enemies fall.
Yeah. So the Ice Eye.
No.
Okay, so we need something that's Icy Eyes. Here's my text.
Chilling Stare. Free. Okay, that works, I suppose.
I think I've got enough space for space.
And check the backside in case anything's different.
There's no. The only one is the top one. All characters within 3 instead of all characters with X, and you pay 1. And it's 1 dice of damage instead of a frozen token.
Yep. Okay.
Which doesn't use the frozen token as often as we'd like. But I think that's because most of the frozen tokens are by the Lord, and outside there's just extra character frozen token. Why is stun not coming up as a unit card? No, it didn't come up. again? Oh, because it's not capitalized. Frozen token. Channel didn't come up. Channel. Walls. Getting those keywords to be colorized more obvious. The reader, but they're keywords. There we go. No, frozen token still didn't do it. Why
not? Because in the box in the middle box, the B for bolding is before token and not before frozen. Surely.
Yeah, but frozen should come up. I think the problem is that it's trying to multi-bold things.
Oh god, it really is. Ugh.
Yeah, so stun tries a multi-bold and then cancels one of them out somehow, and then it attempts a double triple bold and then bold. I can do a frozen by itself, but then it does a multi-bold on frozen. There we go, see? Multi-bold. How to just get one bold? Don't know why it's doing it. Whatever. For the moment, it's this part here doesn't matter when we send it to the printer. This is the only thing that matters when we send it. So frozen token, stun token, wound token, falls, and channel appropriate.
So
things on it. Okay, and it fits by putting that space in.
Are we
so
ready
I'm
to
okay with
the Fs?
Yep, I'll take the Fs. I'm stuck. Okay, so the next one down the list is the demon. Right, quite a bit down.
What are we going down to? Oh yeah.
Demon Kelpie, again, just to double check. Okay.
Would it affect the shard cost very much if Fangs of Fury also inflicted critical wound to simulate setting them on fire? Very small, limited chance.
Okay. Oh, you mean like poison wound?
Well, no, I mean like
which is
like critical set them on fire. Just use the wound token to simulate it.
Yeah, but wound tokens go away fairly fast. You don't if you do a poison wound. It's
I did mean just very minor flickering, smouldering.
Just a minor. Okay.
I didn't mean like a great conflagration.
It'll probably up it by 1. So if you buy it as a troop, the problem is though that Demon Kelpie is the default. Remember when someone casts polymorph on you, you choose.
Yeah,
polymorph.
No, I get that. I was thinking, would it be too much?
So if you make them too powerful, someone's going to purposely. They're always going to choose the. Anything else?
Yeah, I was thinking in terms of would it be too much, and what could we change to make it slightly different, and would it be worth changing?
No, I think the whole point here is just a player wants to put the Demon Kelpie into their army for the fun of it and pay 1. They've got 1 leftover shard, and they're just like, do I buy an upgrade card? Do I buy a equip card? Oh, I've got an extra unit. I'll grab the Demon Kelpie. Why not?
I think it seems pretty fine.
And then my opponent can't use it as a morph because I've got it on the table.
Oh my god.
What?
The damage side has a defense of 0.
No, the damage side shouldn't exist. It's a broken system.
Right, okay, thank goodness for that.
There's no morphs damage
so
side.
Maybe the Fs are because the damage side is displaying.
No, because then all of the rest do too. It's just the Demon Kelpie wasn't checked yet. We just didn't go over him and say, I'll be
okay.
happy. The only thing I'm
why
going to do
didn't
is
go
drop.
with random beast and let the player choose?
Yeah, there's a possibility. We could shuffle.
I mean, at one point we considered being like, you know, certain factions only at one point we considered making the werewolf a transformation card that would happen if people used a polymorph spell on.
I think that's more you. I don't think I would have said yes to that.
No, you really didn't.
No, I didn't. I don't like that.
There was discussion about like making it a Noadin transformation exclusive to that character, and like the one time someone can't. Yes, no, it was going to be too rare. Okay, so what else we got?
Charted character, choose a polymorph card. That unit's now represented by that model. No, I am very much agreeing. Where are the stats of polymorph? No, not there. Search for polymorph.
It's in the rulebook.
No, it's not what I'm looking for. It's the text on the card. Choose a polymorph card. That unit is now represented. Let's change this to shuffle and randomly choose.
Oh, apart from the demon sheep.
Demon sheep is not a polymorph.
The reason is someone might randomly draw it, and then it may be needed later on in the same turn, which is highly unlikely.
Yeah, no, it's not a polymorph card.
Oh, it's oh dear,
it's
even more disturbing, right?
No, you can't put it on the field by itself. All right, I'm gonna have to step away for a minute.
Honestly,
I will scroll to Demonic Henril because you haven't seen it yet. So I'll
okay, well, I'll stay here till you get back, but I am feeling a bit drowsy.
Yeah,
so Demonic Henril is a version of Henril who has been corrupted. Now, there's two versions of this. Essentially, there's my version and Bane's version. They're very, very different. So this is Bane's version pretty much, where Henril, when he gets really badly wounded, he becomes demonic Henril and can't suppress the power within anymore. And my version is that this is not Henril. This is an alternative version of Henril that was created by Valros because she couldn't have Henril and she wanted to make her own version that she could control and keep as a pet and use as a substitute for him because she can't get hold of him. So demonic Henril here, he has... We're going to need to change the card to take away his ranged attack because he can't use it, so he's just a close combatant at this point. He's just given over and stopped trying to control the demonic rage that we never knew was inside him, and transforms into this horrific thing and goes on a rampage around the battlefield. He has Mighty Fist, which is a fist ability, so it's an attack. Melee attack. After this attack resolves, if the defender took any damage as part of this attack, probably doesn't need the as part of this attack words there, stun them, and if angelic, deal 2 dice of direct damage to them, so punches angels really hard. Consecrated Ward. Henril cannot be chosen as part of enemy card effects or abilities. And Broken. When Henril is in line of sight and range 6 of Yakun, return his unit card to his owner, because when Henril becomes demonic Henril, the demonic player gets control of him. Okay, man, well, thanks for sticking around. It was nice having you. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to have this lot finished and in your hands as soon as we can, really. And everybody's hands, for that matter. Yeah, bye for now, man. It's okay, Seismatic, you're still with us. It's you and me waiting here for Bane. He shall return in a bit. Demonic Henril is a bit of a weird one. Hello, welcome back. Unfortunately, Shark is getting tired and has to go to sleep. So he said goodbye and headed off. So it's just you, me, and Seismatic now.
Sweet.
I've talked through Demonic Henril's abilities and roughly described how he changes sides when he transforms.
Yep.
And the broken ability can bring him back again if Yakun comes close.
Upgrade Schismatic's attendance.
Now,
and John D is showing himself to be quite cool too, so also jumping.
Yeah, he kind of left for a while back.
Yeah.
So
no, just people in the chat. I'm just adding them as knights to the Discord
groups.
Sure.
So
because they're participating.
They absolutely deserve it. Yes. Broken. Return his unit card to his owner. Does that mean this card, or he turns back to his human version?
No. So you remember that in standard Henril. So we'll find Henril.
No, I get that. I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
It's like he transforms and switches sides. So does he switch sides again as the demonic version, or turn back into the human version and switch sides?
So when Henril's in line of sight and range of Yakun, he returns to the ownership of his owner.
Yeah. So this version returns to
the
his owner,
he's still
or
demonic
the previous
Henril,
version. Yeah. So okay.
But he's just remembered that he's supposed to be on Aslan's side.
Got it. You might want to make it. So return. I'd say return this unit card instead of his unit card, because his unit card could imply his human version.
Right. Pass his unit card to your opponent.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
Yeah, no. Replace Henril with Demonic Henril and pass this. It should also be this unit card.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, as I said, I'm starting to feel a bit drowsy, so I may need to head off soon as well.
Yep, gotcha. Yep, gotcha.
In which case, if you're going to keep soldiering on, I truly appreciate it, and I'll trust you.
At the end of Henril's activation, replace Henril with Demonic Henril. This. And pass it.
Wait. At the end of his... So he gets one activation on the wounded side as human? And then it just happens, right?
Yeah, so if you've got Henril and you...
Can I make a wacky suggestion for this?
What? As in, you're giving the chance for the very, very small possibility for someone to do an effect to turn him back.
No. I'm going to say, give Darkseid a fate crystal cost of 1, but your opponent pays the fate for this reaction. So they choose when they want to do it.
I think that would be hard to get enough words on.
Yeah, it would be. It's a nice idea, but I don't think we can fit it on.
Just that you basically, once you've flipped Henril, you've got until the end of his activation to do something as he's in his transforming state. Replace Henril
because there's no way of flipping him back.
Well, there is when Yakun is within range. Now, and I only put Yakun there because I had a memory of Henril and Yakun having some sort of story. Now, if that's not correct, Henril has a story with someone else.
Henril has a story with Valros.
So
not with Yakun.
Valros.
Henril and Valros are obsessed with each other and stalking each other and trying to get hold of each other in this kind of weird opposites attract situation.
So what do we do then? Do we say, because if it's just Valrose, I mean,
yeah, she's not going to return into the light at that point, you know.
Exactly. So, I mean, part of Henril's cost reduction is that break the seal happens. Sorry, not break the seal. Dark side happens. Part of his cost reduction is dark side. You lose the card and you hand over this really powerful demon to your enemy. But there needs to be a way that the Aslan player can trigger it back again or cancel him out altogether. Otherwise, it's too powerful. It's way overpriced. Right. So either we reduce.
I mean, you just keep it as something Yakun can do to purify
anyone
him.
Can heal him,
or like any holy unit at all.
Yeah, any holy unit and any recovery.
Instead of Yakun, just any holy.
Yeah.
If he's within 6 of any holy unit, he just goes back to the Aslan force as a demonic version of himself still.
Yeah.
Because he comes to his senses and because that way they've got the demon Henril who can't use his crossbow anymore and needs to have his ranged attack and range removed from his card. But,
okay, that's the part
so he wants to go up and punch people, but they don't want to send him to... Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, but his punch does extra damage to angels, so it would need to be an at the end of his activation thing. So that he could go deliver that one big punch to an angel before he recovers, and because otherwise he'd just never get to punch an angel.
Well, hopefully. You got Henril on the board, and you got an angel on the board.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, I hope I don't get triggered into demonic Henril. And even if I do, I've got Yakun on the board ready to heal him to trigger him back again. But in that moment, my opponent has demonic Henril can go up and punch an angel to death.
That's my point. The way it's currently worded, it's when he's within 6, he transforms. He swaps back, which when Henril is in line of sight and range of... So that's the problem, right? Because that would have...
Okay.
He would be within 6 of a holy unit that he's punching before he does the punch. So make it an end of his activation reaction.
End of activation, okay.
Yeah. So if Henril is in line of sight and range 6 of at the end of his activation, then do this. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And hello, we have a return. John D is back. Yeah. Hooray!
John, because of your wonderful participation for the last few times, I have upgraded your status to knight.
Hey.
Okay, so broken is what we're at. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it just needs an end of reaction trigger.
End of reaction. End of activation.
That's all right. This minute or two are greatly appreciated.
End of activation.
And the idea of it being any holy unit instead of just Yakun.
Yeah. When Henril is in line of sight and range 6 Yakun or any holy unit. Now, the only problem is we are running out of space. Really?
Oh.
It fits.
It fits. And then we get Denovia just below.
Yeah. Return is only
Alright, well, I think before I do go, I'd like to look at any remaining Fs, not necessarily to devote time to fixing them, but just identify, like those need fixing.
Undead Ocelot Guard.
Oh, okay, what have we got there?
The Discordian as well, but... Okay, Broken Body. When Ocelot Guard would...
Yeah, this is a reaction.
Okay, the wording of would, suggesting he might not fall, but he would fall.
Oh, you mean in case he gains defiant from something or for some reason stays on the board?
Or any reason, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just grammar. I'm not sure.
That's okay?
Oh, no, I get it. It's because you make the attack before removing him. So when he would die, he attacks, then dies. You know.
Okay.
So he attacks before
be...
dying, not after.
Okay, but so he has to technically fall.
Yeah.
It's not that he would fall, but then he gets healed, so he still gets his attack.
No, it's like when Oslight Guard would fall, attack with advantage during this attack, then Oslight Guard falls, essentially.
Yeah. So it's more like, what is the stack here? What's the Magic the Gathering stack? So does he technically fall? Sorry, excuse my coffee. Does he fall, and that triggers the attack?
No.
But he has already fallen?
No.
Or
he takes enough damage to fall, then he makes the attack, then he falls.
But during that phase of he takes enough damage, he attacks, could he heal?
Could he what?
Could he be healed?
I don't think he can heal from his own attacks in any way.
No, from a fate card?
Oh, possibly.
So the confusion here is it allowed that he can
No, I don't think it is. I think he then definitely dies afterwards.
Get healed and not die and score a bonus attack?
No, I think he definitely dies afterwards.
There is the fate card where effectively fine. Forget what it's called.
Oh, there might be some undead specific fate cards that could play into this.
Through the fate why am I looking through physical cards when I've got a computer? Where's the cards? Okay. Okay. After an enemy within your threat falls, focus boost. No. Immobilize an enemy. Have them equal rank. When you would fall, recover 3.
Yes, there we go. Right, yes. So no, then absolutely, he's allowed to. Got it. So he gets killed, gets a full heal, and then attacks back anyway, without dying. Okay. So no, then we do leave the wording as is. All right.
Yeah, because the original one is when Oslight Guard is attacked by ranged weapon, the attacking character gains disadvantage.
Oh God, no wonder I didn't recognise it, if it's that different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's broken body because they're just shooting through the gaps between the ribs and the bones, and there's no internal organs to hit. I can see how it was a good anti-shooting thing.
But there wasn't. I think it was because there wasn't much archery in the game at that stage.
Because only one faction had archery.
Yeah, so it was like, what was the point of having... Sorry.
And in fact, that has not particularly changed yet.
No, we have added more ranged characters, but not as much.
But they're all mercenaries.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, the existing factions aren't getting ranged units. There's no ranged attack. Well, there's Messergeists, I suppose. But hey, look, guess what? They're in the same factions as the Oslight Guards anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a fate card that can give him 3 health back when he should die.
So
and then he'd still get his...
Do we want to swap back to the original disadvantage from range?
I don't know. Up to you. I'll let you and the present Discordians decide on that one. Because I'm feeling pretty tired.
Yeah, fair enough. You go to bed then.
I'm not feeling tired enough to go... I mean, I'll probably go to bed soon, but I'm not feeling tired enough to like just zonk out in the chair or something. I'm more like feeling tired enough to just relax and let you guys make the decision on this one.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool, gotcha. Yeah, so John D, it's you and me. We're going to make this decision. And schismatic. Alright, so the original text is about undead. You can stab them, and they don't really take, they don't take as much damage from stabbing weapons. I guess that's a classic standard undeady thing, right? We're confronted also. We got this card for the undead. Where is it?
Hang on. Sam Beckett has just quantum leaped into John D.
What do you mean? So when you would fall recover 3, undead can use that. Demons can technically use that too. It has to be an undead demon.
Yeah, because the undead are currently in the demon faction.
No, I mean you'd have to have a demon card. You'd have to have a demon which has an undead keyword. Do we have any? I'll have to double check that.
We don't have the Noah-Din undead yet, do we? Either.
Leave notes.
So they're going to need a copy of this card at some point too.
Question mark. Good point. Okay. So the decision is, in the undead, we have broken body, which the original wording was, when Ocelite Guard is attacked by ranged weapons, the attacking character gains disadvantage. So it reduces the amount of damage the gun gets. The problem at the time when we looked at that card, and this is now almost 2 years ago we made this change, there weren't many archery units. So this became a kind of, what is the point of this skill? So we swapped it over to when Ocelite Guard would fall, attack with advantage during this attack. So when you kill the Ocelite Guard, they have one final strike. They're dead, but they're not quite dead. So we've added back quite a few more archery, not as many, but we've added back a few more archery units. Most of them are, I guess, a few more in the Noah-Din, a lot of neutral guys who have this. And so we could swap it back to the disadvantage. There's also the possibility we should say, well, hang on, they're undead. Are they really going to be taking damage as much? Like,
actually,
we could just say broken body is...
Hold on.
I thought you weren't going to talk.
Because some of the ranged attacks are now magical.
Yeah.
Right. Disadvantage against range attacks. That's like a bit of magic resistance and magical protection as well.
Yeah.
That the necromancy is protecting them from. But also it's an argument against having range attacks deal no damage whatsoever because they aren't all arrows and crossbow bolts and rocks and stuff.
Okay, how about this? Ocelite Guard, broken body, I will swap it into a constant that says you cannot use Pierce. Yeah, leaving it.
Can't use Pierce against Ocelite Guard.
You can't use Pierce against. So he's always going to have an armor on account because he doesn't. The armor is he's a skeleton. He doesn't. He doesn't have a body to be stabbed. I mean, I've never liked the idea that skeletons are like first level nothings that you can kill, except for maybe they're just slow, because they're so hard. You can't just stab them. You have to smash them apart.
Something I did in 3rd edition to make a really nasty encounter was the heroes had a fight with 3 men in plate armor with halberds. And the 3 men in plate armor with halberds were skeletons in plate armor with halberds.
Yeah. So
meaning
you're fighting against.
Meaning they didn't realize they were fighting skeletons. So the damage reduction against certain weapons applied, and it wasn't until they knocked one of them down and knocked his visor open that they realized, hang on, there's a skeleton inside there. That's why he's been taking so little damage when we've been stabbing at him and cutting at him with things. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, he's got to go. So. It's curious to know what we'll decide. Well, we'll try and inform people later on.
We'll let you know. You'll get the game months later.
Yeah, but also like Lord Soth, who, look, it is basically fantasy Darth Vader. You know.
Yeah.
He's undead as well. Like you get your Death Knight type stuff and other skeletons. You know.
Yeah.
Here's the other one that annoyed me, right, is that people with the concept of animating a skeleton from a dead body. I'm like, no, you make a zombie. That one's still got flesh and stuff on it. you know.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, the necromancy makes all the flesh fall off and it's just a skeleton. Get lost. No.
So
you're animating the body. You're not changing the body into something else, you know.
No, hang on. You're going with the idea that are you animating the body, you're using magic to cause the muscles to move the body, or are you animating the skeleton? And if it's covered in flesh, that's immaterial. It's the skeleton on the inside which is animated.
No, you're animating the body because skeletons are zombies that have just been around so long that all the flesh and stuff has rotted off them and the bones are all that's left.
No, that's the difference. See, so a zombie still uses the electricity of the brain to cause the muscles to move to make the zombie go, right? That's the whole point of it. The electricity of the muscles. If you strip all the muscles away from the body, and it's just a skeleton, a zombie won't be animated anymore. A zombie will cease to exist because you've stripped away. And that's so you can set fire to a zombie, burning off all the flesh, and the skeleton left over will just crumple to the ground. An animated skeleton that has a body still attached to it, you could burn all the flesh off and it'll keep going because it's the bones which are animated on the inside. And they're not using
You want to know what's actually interesting? I have some very old French skeleton miniatures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're gorgeously sculpted. Yep. They don't have skulls and bones all over their weapons and armor. They actually look like the equipment they were wielding and wearing in life, right?
Yeah.
Not like some necromancer came up and dressed them up first with his special Death Club gear. And one of those skeletons is 3/4 covered in flesh, almost like a zombie.
Yeah.
And the flesh is sagging off it and falling off it, but it's
that's the point. It's a skeleton.
Still, it's a skeleton, but it's not
flesh. Versus a zombie, which is the animated flesh keeps it going.
No, because you're moving the whole thing. It's like it's like puppetry. Anyway, we've drifted far off topic, as drowsiness often does.
There's an argument to say that we can return the broken body to its more, not as much because there's still not quite enough, and we've got the problem that ranged attacks aren't always magical. But if we include the idea that the armor is like piercing weapons,
so the armor is always there against ranged attacks or against everything. Because you could just make it against everything.
I want to take it one step further to say that since piercing attacks are applied to weapons which pierce, and piercing attacks,
because piercing attacks, the pierce value is often things like mighty crushing blows, or even Arasal's ice sword that cuts through any armor because it's the cold that gets you more than the blade itself.
Yeah, that's.
But piercing. Again, these things are like, what cold? We feel the cold of the grave all the time, you know. And also, it's only 1 point of armor. Even if you boost it up a little bit, it's not going to be very high. So them being immune to pierce, you could correct the spelling of pierce on Herena's card.
Yeah, I was just taking one. So we have quite a few pierces, but we don't have quite a few pierces.
but again, most of the things with pierce values are going to pretty much mess up on us like guard anyway, without the pierce value making a massive difference, one way or another.
So
you have a big ice golem that just punches stuff.
Sword. Barristan's weapon. Hang on, has Barristan got a
big two-handed sword?
Sword. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably Rodrigo's lance a bit as well.
This is going to come up with the undead in the. This is going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
If we've got Pierce that's saying, okay, like Rodrigo's got a big spear or a big gun.
But it's also the impact of the horse charging behind it as well. It's the whole lance thing of just punching through stuff.
Well, that's more to do with his attack score than it should be with his Pierce.
But keep going. There might be a few more.
She's got a sword.
We don't need to create a new crush keyword to simulate Pierce. Yeah, Pierce 2 on Betrogard's mace, because he's hitting really hard at it.
Yeah, I see. That's kind of
the idea of mace being a good anti-armor weapon as well.
Yeah. No, I mean the thing about maces is that mace against light armor, it's not good. It's great against chainmail.
Oh no, as axes. Axes are a good medium armor weapon. Maces are better. Maces and hammers are better against the heavier armor, unless you can like get in there with a dagger or something through a chink.
Yeah, you getting a dagger
Otherwise,
through
you
a
just
chink is a big
batter it
one.
with a mace as hard as you can and hope for the
Yeah,
best.
you eventually will crash. But the mace does more damage. No, there's no ifs, ands, or buts there. Axes and maces have a bigger, heavier thing to slam into something and do more damage in that respect. But the armor itself, if it's properly made, is going to deflect a large amount of that armor, amount of that damage.
Wait for
But
it.
if it's plate armor is going to bounce back, right?
Wait for it.
Chainmail. What do you wait for? What?
He's got deadly too, so he's going to fuck up oscillates anyway, even without the pierce value.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying that there are certain instances, because we're going to have an undead army coming, it might not be a terrible idea to swap out a couple. Yeah, she's got piercing.
This feels like fiddling, and fiddling is fine, but fixing should be a higher priority than fiddling at the moment.
They will have to change before the next. When the undead armies are increased, we'll have to swap out any cards that have pierce on it that not be cancelable by skeleton or undead in general.
Well, no, because it could be that just the Oscillate guards get this as a special ability and other skeletons might not, because they might be a bit more brittle or knackered or something.
It's not introducible at this stage. It's understood. I want to.
7 of 181. My God, that ability is used. That keyword appears a lot.
You got to remember, it appears on the card and it appears.
No, I understand. It appears on the backs and in abilities and stuff, but it's clearly a heavily used keyword.
Yeah, divided by 3. So earlier it was 2 of them, 3, 4, 5. Elia had 5 of them. Vetrogard had 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually divided by 5. It should be, so there's about 30 of them.
Oh. And of course the fake backsides of troop cards are adding to this as well a bit.
Yeah, it's there.
Because the thing is, in terms of keyword, bottom of the card, accuracy is more common than pierce, but pierce is more common in ability descriptions.
You reckon? We got 181 divided by 5 accuracy. 330.
110. Yeah. Oh,
twice as many.
So definitely sleepy if I saw that as 110. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think I'm going to head off before I zonk out.
All right.
We're very close. So hang on. Before I wanted to go, I wanted to see how many FFs we had left and just what they were.
I'll have to do a reload.
Yeah, I didn't want to give suggestions on fixing all of them. I just wanted to see how many there were and what they were, so I could have a good idea of how much we've done today and how little there is left to go.
So, other than Noadin Yasa, which is because she's a lord.
Yep.
The discussion on the shield maiden.
Oh yes, that still needs a serious discussion later on.
The discussion on the Werewolfnir.
Yep.
And whether we still add a Discordian miniature in, even though
yes, okay.
Really get to that, which might happen still, because I did say to the Australian crowd that after I'd redo this at 9 o'clock. And Charlotte, that's it. I don't know why Charlotte at this stage, but that's it.
You don't like Charlotte? What?
Charlotte's in here for some reason.
Oh, there might be a reason. I'm just trying to remember what it is. Okay, let's have a quick look.
No. Her blind assassin label is FF'd, but her actual card is not.
Oh, okay, so something's.
So it might just be a leftover. Might have been a leftover that I just.
All right. Well, cool. I think I'll head off then. We done good.
Cool. Sweet.
So, thanks a
later,
lot,
buddy.
See you a bit later, and I'll look forward to finding out what you've done in my absence.
Awesome.
All right. Bye for now.
See ya.